Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did this by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the sky's the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been duck dog, getting in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat, get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Gas in my lung, new shoes on the cruise. Country granny played the blues on the stools. Head wrap silky chewing on this oxtail. Scheming on a milli, trying to hit the yacht sail. Gold shining lobster near the Everglade music. When we drop, it's like you never made music. Better days never came easy to a quitter. Ain't no pump faking, let them see that I deliver. God body, baby, big 7 in the skin. Probably why you never hear no better again. Higher than the spot that we bout to set the bar. Stankin', smell it before it left the jar. I just left the coast straight to another ocean. Got excuses, me, I'm really having motion. Sipping on mimosa, chopping real estate game. 40 years later, still the same lane. Just left the hood, never heard of you. 30 long years, not a single word of you. Shop booming, baby, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been busy having motion. Just left the town, things spoke to you. You a L7, probably served to you. Shop still booming, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been really having motion. Boy, stop playing, this is not your lane. Never seen struggle, you do not know pain. Stop playing, would you be yourself? How they see you, how you see yourself. Ain't real, acting real fictitious. Family on the west probably still hit switches. Playing Sally Cell, brought the thumper in the car. I've been down in Austin burning rubber down Lamar. Keep what you earn, put it back in the business. Gold mouth shorty spinning racks at the dentist. One stream need a whole 7 ways. That weaker than a whole 7 days. I've been playing chess, working on the left brain. Buzzing in my city way before the press came. Went and bought a now he think he less lame. Got the kind of gas that could fuel a jet plane. Just left the hood, never heard of you. 30 long years, not a single word of you. Shop booming, baby, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been busy having motion. Just left the town, things spoke to you. You a L7, probably serve to you. Shop still booming, come and get it while it's open. I don't have time, I've been really having motion. Y'all know what time it is. Jury, what up? Lords of the land. Ain't got no minutes for you, internet. We really outdoors with it. Till infinity. And we out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother. Some of y'all brothers, some of y'all don't really mess with me. I think y'all just be over here hating. But this is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. And we got another banger for y'all. I'm saying it's a banger because I'm just gonna get some stuff off my chest. Y'all see the title. So, but before we get into our spiel, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. I ain't talking about the enslavers or the Ku Klux Klan either. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about racist white folks who was hanging my ancestors from a tree because they not like us. Shout out to all my Christian brothers and sisters. I don't care how y'all feel about the distinction I just made either. Shout out, I want to say hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Shalom or shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. What's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters? I want to say a big salute to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. What's up even to the flat earthers like Crazy to Corey? I want to say last and certainly not least, Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're black, I rock with you, and I hope you rock with me. That being said, our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity, and we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Shout out to the Slim Reaper and A1 and the number one seed, Zion, the Lion, on that one. Speaking of those three gentlemen, last night was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I don't give a damn who y'all want to make the culprit, who y'all want to make responsible. Like, we got to stop capping over here. Like, when it get to a particular point where motherfuckers can't even have a coherent conversation, and then y'all still be capping like y'all really respect the motherfucker, I don't believe you. Like, you either gonna handle yourself like a grown-ass man or you ain't. Real shit. Like, that shit get old real quick. And it ain't about getting no money behind it either, because I don't have my videos monetized to after the fact, because I know it's going to be some fuck shit. So I just decipher whether or not I'm going to hit the monetization button after the fact. Shout out to the members on the channel and everybody that be donating, because that's where my ends for the channel come from. Y'all know I do this for fun. So it ain't, don't make it about me trying to get $1, because it ain't. I'm saying as grown ass men, we got to start acting like grown ass men. We either gonna have a fucking conversation or we not. And if you don't want to have a conversation, get off the goddamn panel. Period. Like that's old. So what we gonna do from now on, if you hosting the show, if you warn somebody, if you mute somebody and they unmute themselves without you telling them to, without you calling on them, kick them to the back. If it happened again, they gone. You don't want to come back on here, it's fine. Because I find it funny when y'all go on other people's shit, bigger channels, y'all have respect. Because y'all respect them and y'all respect they shit because they got more eyes over there, right? It's either that or you respect them more as men than you do me. Either way it go, you ain't got to fuck with me if that's how you feel. Real rap. See, I like when the so-called conscious community come with the information. I don't like when you niggas act tough because I don't believe you. I don't. I want every motherfucker who call themselves who be on this internet acting tough. I want y'all to know I don't believe you. I don't. And if you think I'm talking to you, I am. If you taking the shit personal, you should. Because only hit dogs holler. Like if you ain't tripping, you shouldn't be tripping. Because I'm talking to anybody who decide they want to come on here and be disrespectful to the platform and to me as a motherfucking man and to whoever hosting the show at the time. So if somebody put you on mute, that means they don't want to hear from you no more until they call on you. So if you take yourself off mute, you can go to the back. And if you don't like it, you can leave. When they bring you back up, if you keep talking, you gone anyway. I don't feel however you want to feel about it. Because when you go on bigger platforms, you act accordingly to how they expect you to act. But over here, you crash out. So that's what it is from now on. Feel how you feel about it. If I offended you, I meant to. Because y'all ain't got no problem offending me. I like when y'all stick with the information. I don't like when y'all act tough. Because ain't nobody going to do nothing over the internet. Act tough when you see me in the flesh. Otherwise, I don't believe you. I don't expect you to believe me behind this screen. So what is all of the name calling and the disrespect for? When you know ain't nobody finna bust a grape behind a computer screen. Half of y'all can't afford a pair of jeans, never mind a plane ticket. So you ain't going nowhere to see nobody. So what is all of it for? Outside of you just can't. Stick to the information. So with that being said, it's Free Smoke Friday. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. You got some smoke. I don't care if you got it with me, you got it with somebody else. Come and get it off your chest. Shout out to the members of the Dream Team that's on the panel. Y'all got smoke. Shout out, Philo. Hey man, Cat. So just so you understand, you know you watch every now and then. I see you in the chat. So what happens is I open up my platform to whoever. But my kindness is returned with disrespect because people want to come on here and just talk stupid to other grown individuals. They don't care how crazy it make the platform look or how crazy it make me look. But I see how they behave when they go over to other spaces. They act like men. Even when it's getting to a point where you would expect them to crash out like they crash out over here, but they don't. And even when they do, they can get real back in. Real easy, but not over here. My man over here trying to get things back in order, and and he being ignored. But see, over there, you know, and shout out to Big Bro. It is what it is. But see, I said at the beginning of every show, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. I got on her that this is not appropriate for kids. So I expect some strong language. I expect some aggression. What I don't expect is disrespect. Because again, I don't know what it's for. You ain't gonna do nothing behind the screen. So you a keyboard gangster. To me, who gonna come to St. Louis and see me? Or Baltimore to see Cannon? Like, if you can't come on here and have a conversation as a man with some aggression like men do, without calling another man a female dog, without calling a man the other word for vagina, over some information, what we talking about? But if you get to that point, because tempers flare, if you get to that point, when the host asks you to chill, because it's gonna happen sometimes, and we gonna let it rock, because it get like that amongst men with testosterone. It get like that amongst sisters. Although, don't come up here disrespecting sisters. If you say I'm simping, I don't give a damn. I'm simping, because you ain't gonna come up here and disrespect the sister. Period. Now, if she give you disrespect, then you know we'll see how that go. But it ain't even finna be no long outlandish crash out session between a man and a woman, and a man just constantly disrespecting a woman. I don't like that. Just ain't my thing. And if you say I'm simping, I bet this simp didn't have more vagina than you didn't ever had in your life. And your lady will probably stop letting you smell up her drawers if she can get next to me. Simp that. That's what type of time I'm on tonight, just in case y'all ain't figured it out. It's Free Smoke Friday. So I'm here for it. As far as it go with the decorum on the platform, though, all I'm asking y'all cats to do is act like men. If somebody getting the better of you in a conversation, and the only thing you could resort to is calling them out their name, you lost. Period. I mean, but if it get to that point, when the hosts say we gotta chill, or don't come back. I ain't mad at you. It is what it is. I said what I said. Link is in the chat. Dream Team, what's on y'all mind? It's Free Smoke Friday. Who y'all got smoke with? What y'all got smoke about?
Hey, look, I already got my ticket to Baltimore, nigga. I'm on my way.
Okay, let's see you when you get here. Make sure you stop and grab a chicken box and I have it half for you. Pull up on me. Salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce on everything. Fried wings and Western fries. I'll see you when you get here.
I got a text from my sister, like, they going crazy on your channel. And it was like 11 something, so I was asleep. I'm like, what's she talking about? So I get up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch it. Slim Reaper happened to hit me up. We was talking some business. I asked him a little bit, got a little bit of it. I'm like, but, and just so y'all know, I'm not mad at none of the brothers who was on the show last night. Stuff happened. Emotions get flared and tempers get ignited, so to speak. So I ain't mad at nobody. But I'm talking about from here on out, we gotta reel that shit in. Because at the end of the day, for the most part, we grown men having conversations with other grown men.
I mean, I take the hit for it. I shouldn't have let it escalate as far as it did. I was trying to let them get their little piece off so they can de-escalate themselves, but I guess it got a little too riled up. That was on me. I should have stopped it before it got started.
Yeah, but it never should have got started though, and that's my point. So okay, yeah, you could have stopped it, but it never should have got started because we talking about men of a particular age. We ain't talking about early 20s, mid 20s, etc. So, but what's up with you, David? What you got on your mind, man? It's Free Smoke Friday. Who you got smoke with? What you got smoke about?
I'm just here listening to the people that are discussing whatever beef they have. I just think that whatever I don't know. It's just kind of strange. And me and Jamel were talking over the phone today, and I don't understand how people can be pro-black. You said information. Now, of course, they have an intrinsic bias towards Christianity. I get it. It comes with the territory. I'm willing to accept that. But when you're calling me out of my name and saying all kinds of things and calling me the dumb stuff, just the juvenile stuff about with coming from people in their 40s. I mean, we're all of us are probably in our mid to late 40s, except for maybe the two people that are on the panel. But so we shouldn't be acting this way. We should, conduct ourselves accordingly. But we don't. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't know why.
You know why, man? Because it ain't about the information. It's about acting tough. J Facts. And listen, man, hey, for everybody that's watching and who gonna watch later, I want y'all to know David Chandler may be soft spoken, I should say. But y'all do not want to see this man when it comes to the information. I'm putting out feelers. Whoever wants to smoke on a conversation, a dialogue, or a debate, I got $5 on David. I put it that way. I got $5 on David. I got 500 pennies on David Chandler. J Facts. Free Smoke Friday, man. Who you got smoke with? What you got smoke about?
Man, honestly, I'm actually kind of frustrated with the state of literacy within the Black community. Because it seems like a lot of the stuff that we be even beefing about could be solved by just being able to read. It's kind of frustrating to me. And what bothers me the most, and this hits home for me, right? This hits home for me because I'm a second generation immigrant. I was born in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, to a mother from Barbados, right? When she came here, she didn't know how to read or none of that. You feel me? And she taught herself to read and get her shit together so that she can do what she got to do. You feel me? She had kids to take care of. It blows me. You feel me? That's not the case, knowing the long-standing history of Black people just overcoming every hurdle that's put in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this an issue among adult African Americans? It's crazy to me. Like, how do you not know how to read? And if you know you don't know how to read, why don't you fix it? That shit bothers me.
Wow. Yeah. That's you went a little serious on me, man. I wasn't expecting you to go that serious. That's a real problem.
Bro, it's bad. It's really bad. Like a lot of the issues we face with if niggas just could read, it would resolve a lot of problems. Like a lot of the issues people even have with the Christian faith, they never even read it in the Bible, and they couldn't read it in the Bible.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, we got one of the electromagnetic messiahs in the building. Anoop Kakarot.
Peace,
Smoke
God.
Friday. Who you got smoke with? What
Man,
you got?
I got smoke. You already know I wake up every single day looking for the smoke. You know what I'm saying? And I'm calling out this brother Apollo Bay. I'm calling him out. We're gonna get him up. We're gonna get him over here, but he one of them foul mouth guys. So I don't know how we gonna do that. But I'm calling him out. He claims that Bay. He keeps saying, I stole the Bay name from the Moabites, right? And so
Wow.
because he's a dirty Moor, and that's no disrespect to anybody else out there who is a Moor, from the Moor side of America. But it is brothers out here that be perpetrating fraud. You know what I'm saying, and demonstrating which I demo. You see what I'm saying? So he's basically saying that Bay is a Moabite name, and I'm saying I want to call him out, challenge him to a debate about the origins of the name Bay. You know what I'm saying? On top of
that sounds like some Lord Apple stuff.
Yeah. On top of that, I want to call out Kamala Harris, because she know damn well she Indian, and you know what I'm saying. You ain't gonna be culture appropriating my people, so I'm just gonna have to throw that out there because I know a lot of people. Hey, look! You said it's Free Smoke Friday, bro, and I got smoke.
It's Free Smoke Friday.
Yeah, I got smoke. I got a problem with Kamala Harris, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And I know y'all gonna be like, oh, here you go with this Trump stuff. I ain't even gonna bring up DJT. I ain't even gonna bring up DJT. You see what I'm saying? But Kamala Harris, cuz that is a wolf in sheep clothing. Don't believe it. Don't fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Like all y'all do is gotta go back and listen to her, man. Like she's always been promoting her Indian. She ain't never been black until she started running for president, bro.
I think your issue is you never had her collard greens before. That's what it is.
Hey, you know what? I got a problem with somebody putting collard greens in the tub, but that's just me though. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I think we should be calling her out on that, bro. It's Free Smoke Friday. I got smoke with anybody who got a problem with God is like light as electromagnetism.
Oh, I knew
we
it was
can
coming.
go at it whenever, however y'all want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
He says Smoke Friday.
Free Smoke Friday. I love it.
The smoke.
I'll make a pact with you. With the gods as our witnesses. Let us pledge that the winner will allow the loser all the proper funeral rituals.
There are no pacts between lions and men.
There are no pacts between lions and men. The number one seed, Zion the lion, the real Zion the lion in the building.
Shalom, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to apologize to you about, you know what I'm saying, yesterday, regardless. You know, I respect your channel. You know what I mean? However, but I don't. Yeah.
Stop for 1 second. Stop. This wasn't for nobody to come in and apologize. I ain't saying. The reason I said if you feel away, I'm talking about from a negative standpoint. Like you don't want to fuck with a nigga no more. Act accordingly.
No. Absolutely.
Now, but I want to stop. You don't owe me no apology because shit happens and it's gonna happen again. I ain't singling nobody out. You A1, Leandre, whoever else. I'm saying simply that from now on, I just want everybody to move different. You don't owe me no apology, Doc. it happened, and I expect it to happen again. I just want when bro or myself or one of the Craig, nobody, when they start trying to get things back under control, let's get things back under control. But you good.
Right.
You don't owe me no apology. You know I fuck with you.
Ken, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like me and brother Nobody, we chopped it up at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? And that was positive. You know, I look forward to positive discussions, but when I start seeing the gaslighting and all of that freaking gas, you know, all of that stuff, I get heated, bro. And I'm the same way on every show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling no kind of way. I you know what I'm saying? I don't do something over here that I don't do anywhere else. You know, and I've had people talk to me about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a work in progress. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. You understand what I'm saying? Right?
So what was the result of the debate last night?
It wasn't a debate. If it ain't on the clock and it ain't got a title, it ain't no debate, bro. A back chat bang ain't no debate. Neither is a conversation.
Between Corey and
I don't know. Y'all was supposed to do a
No.
Yeah, because
he knows. You know what happened.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the debate, and I just want to give my own review on there. Now,
yeah, please do.
I feel like Corey took an L. I feel like he took an L as soon as God said incarnate. The minute that he said that Jesus was God incarnate, it was a wrap for me. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to the question and answer round, Corey is really elusive. He's a very elusive debater. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not used to dealing with an elusive debater, especially one that will gallop you and gaslight you the whole time while he's doing it, you can get caught up, and that's what I saw. So, but I still get an L to Corey, because the minute he said God incarnate, the minute you brought up that Jesus controls nature, the minute you brought up that he heals the sick, the minute that you talk about him coming back from dead, those are all God things. I didn't care if it was a demigod or whatnot.
Or father, right?
You proved your point to me.
So I just want to make sure we clear on this. Anup Kakarot, one of the electromagnetic messiahs, who whether they're gonna show it tonight or not, got smoked with the Dream Team. Just said a Dream Team won the debate. I don't know if it's what I'm gonna call the Takari effect, because Takari is like Drake, got a lot of enemies type stuff, or if it's just feeling a win.
No, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I sat there and watched the whole thing.
Break it down for me.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and the thing is, I had Corey winning in the beginning before the debate started, because you know he didn't tangle with Naga for years, so he got enough debate skills under his belt to pull it off. So I already, you know what I'm saying, without even hearing the debate, I had already gave it to Corey, you know what I'm saying, because of his experience. But then when I started hearing the argument, when I heard the argument and I looked at the title, "Is Jesus God?" Bruh, that's ambiguous. You didn't specify high God. You didn't specify most high God. You didn't specify none of that. All you did was specify the title God. And that includes demigods or any other gods you're going to come up with. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when he started bringing up the feats that Jesus was doing, you know what I'm saying? The fact that they was calling him Lord, the fact that God called him God. I mean, dude, it's over. It's over. So I gotta align myself with the truth, not with politics.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point. I think, you know what I'm saying, like when they first started the debate title, right? In the prelim, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was the one who said I was going to send, you know, J-Fax over to Takari, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think Takari, you know what I'm saying, was tight on his scriptures. But Takari did surprise me with the scriptures. He knew some scriptures. But I will say this now. I'm not taking no sides. You know what I mean? When J-Fax got into the debate and he stated that he wasn't saying that he was the father, I said, uh-oh, so Corey's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So Corey did. He was over there breaking ankles in that question and answer round. I went back and watched it. You know what I'm saying? He was breaking ankles. However, you know what I'm saying, that major factor, just like you said, you know what I'm saying, the moment that he gave him divinity, and if we understand that word Elohim does not have to be you know, saying some magical force. It's just, you know, Elohim is an authority, power, and that's where that word God is always replaced. You know what I'm saying? Replacing that word Elohim in the scriptures. Elohim can refer to a judge. Elohim can refer to a Messiah. Elohim can refer to a priest. You know what I'm saying? A king, a Elohim. You know what I mean? That's that word God. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we distinguish El Elyon. You know what I'm saying? God the highest from Elohim. So most people think that, you know, that like they say that, you know, Judaism and Christianity is monotheistic. It's actually what is it called? Mono adultery or something like that. The term that means that there's one main God and there are lessers, and that's all throughout the scripture. So that's where, you know what I'm saying, J-Fax broke his ankle. You know what I mean? So I'll just leave it right there.
Oh, okay. J-Fax, you heard what Zion the Lion and the electromagnetic Messiah had to say. What do you have to say in response? Just strictly on how you feel about how things went last night.
Honestly, they ain't say nothing that I ain't already know. I mean, to deny what happened is to straight up just deny what is. Like, because we talking about dictionary definitions. To deny what happened last night is to just deny reality, is where I'm standing. I think these brothers gave a phenomenal synopsis of exactly what took place. I think the analytical prowess of both of these brothers is on point. You know, I appreciate their opinions.
No
yeah,
doubt.
man, you did a good job, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, cause at first I was like, oh, bro, being a little long with it, but I was like, you know what? Let me be patient and just listen, because he is speaking from the word. So let me just listen. And I'm like, damn. When you hit him with God talking to Jesus and speaking directly to Jesus and calling him God, I was like, oh, bro. Oh man, like, dude, look, we ain't even got to go no further. Then when you got to break down the body, mind, and soul, you know what I'm saying? And then you got God the Father, then you got the Holy Spirit, and then you got the physical body of God, which is Jesus. Come on, man, stop.
You peeped that. You peeped that. I'm glad you peeped that.
I was like, come on, man, stop playing.
If I may, we got some smoke on the table from my brother David Chandler. He said, I'd love to have a conversation about the condition of the black family. Kick it off, David.
Sorry. Yeah. I would love, I don't have smoke with anybody on the panel or anyone else in the chat, but I do want to have a conversation with someone about the condition of the black family.
That's a great topic.
Do we believe, or does anybody believe, that the black family is worse or better off than it was 60 years ago?
It's worse. It's worse.
Give me some examples.
Yeah, that's a great discussion. Okay,
I think that's an ambiguous question. You have to be more specific. You mean like financially, culturally, spiritually? Like,
well,
what do you mean?
As a whole.
Oh well, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're gonna say as a whole. I'm gonna have to say that we're better, because things are a lot better than.
For a second, keep the conversation moving.
So
everybody try to take maybe 2 minutes to get your reply, and then keep the mic moving. So I know we heard from Zion, and now we're hearing from Anu. So just keep it going around.
Okay. Go ahead, Anu.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying that I think it's better, like, because we got a hell of a lot more freedom. We don't live up under nearly as much oppression. We're expressing ourselves a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Could there be a more marriage and cohesiveness? Yes, but as far as like our condition, it's more of us educated. It's more of us. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I have to take the good with the bad, and I'm gonna say that we're better now, but there's some elements that do need to be worked on.
Roger that. Anybody else want? Kwame, did you want to jump in on this?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I think it's an ambiguous question.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that we made a lot of progress since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
But I think culturally we a lot stagnant. But as far as economics and education, I think we made a lot of progress in that aspect. But as far as culturally and some economics, we still stagnated. But I think we made a lot of progress though.
Roger that, David. I think you might want to tell people what you're thinking. Like, where's your head at with this, so that they can gain a little more clarity on this particular where you're coming from. What's your stance, David?
Well, I think that the Black family was doing well around during the before the 60s. And I'm talking about culturally, because we had family. We had before the 60s, before the 70s, I should say, let me be more specific. We had a mother and a father in the home. We had a father in the home. And it wasn't until we started going after the Democratic Party, and Lyndon Baines Johnson established or legislated his war on poverty in 1964. That's when the family started to break apart. Now, this wasn't done overnight. Let me be clear for those of you who are listening and those of you who are watching the panel. Let me be clear: this didn't happen overnight. This happened over the course of about 20 years. I'm talking about going into the 80s. We saw a systematic breakdown of the family structure. Now, financially, it depends on who you're talking to. Now, there are some families that, were fortunate enough to go off to father was able to go off to college and work and move the family out of the hood, so to speak, or the mother or both parents were working. They had good jobs and they were able to provide for their families. But we see some of that even breaking off around the mid 80s, going towards the 90s and the 21st century, because again, Black men, were kicked out because of what happened with feminism and the feminist movement and things of that sort. And so as a result, in order for Black women to attain or to give or to get government incentives, they had to kick that man out of the home. And so what I'm saying to you guys, or what I'm asking you guys is, do you think that's a problem now? Or did you think that that was a problem? Or do you think that helped us in that regard?
May I respond?
Go ahead.
Yes. So you're absolutely correct. 1980s, I think 1982, might have been a little bit earlier than that, was the Tender Years Doctrine. The Tender Years Doctrine in the family court system provided women with the incentive that they would always get the kid upon divorce, as long as the child was, within a specific age range. And that age range was pretty large. I mean, going into teen years, mommy always got the baby. The governmental assistance and all of those programs, absolutely. The feminism fought to incentivize divorce and such, things like you were saying with governmental assistance, and it actually incentivized women to divorce and leave the homes. Also, not just that, the more importantly, to divide the children from their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Where fathers. And then you got the 80s where the mass incarceration was a huge thing. The war on drugs. You had COINTELPRO pushing substances into the community. Right around that time as well, there was a economic a drop in employment. I think it was something like 10%. I'm doing all of this stuff right now on my thesis paper. I'm working from Reconstruction all the way to present, the Black nationalism, Black family, all of that stuff. So I'm trying to keep it, minimal to Black nationalism. However, I do touch on, what I'm saying, those the tender years doctrine and feminism. You know what I'm saying? How that shifted the ideological practices of African Americans, especially women, concerning marriage. You know what I'm saying? And maintaining at least a healthy relationship with the child, because people divorced even in not so much in 1950s as much as in 1960s, 1970s, where you had the free love, you know what I'm saying, hippies and all of that stuff began to challenge some of the earlier ideological belief systems, that kept families together. So I absolutely agree. But that tender years doctrine, y'all go look it up. That some of y'all fathers, if y'all, I'm turning 50 this year. So when I was born, you know what I'm saying, Nixon was the president. Or he just left. Yeah, the 1974. He had just you know what I'm saying, abdicated. You know what I'm saying? So I seen Carter. I've seen Reagan. You see what I'm saying? Seen George Bush. You know what I'm saying? Senior. You know what I mean? And I've seen nothing but a whole bunch of white presidents who have not, you know what I'm saying, they didn't really address things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? And then you black males going into prison and incarceration and mass incarceration, you know what I'm saying, was a whole nother issue that withheld fathers from their children. You know what I'm saying? The drug issue, absolutely. Yep, Clinton, absolutely. I'm not taking nothing from none of them. All of them are guilty. All of them are guilty. But yes, the black family divided. My grandparents are still married today. They're 95. God bless them. You know what I'm saying? They came up, you know what I'm saying, around the Great Depression era in 2009. You know what I'm saying? And they're still married at 95. To this day, my uncle's over there taking care of them, you know what I'm saying, until the Lord calls them home, you know what I mean? And I see a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? I see a huge difference in what was established and how, I'm a child of divorce, you know what I'm saying? And that tender years doctrine was a huge factor in dividing, you know what I'm saying, my family from, you know what I'm saying, from our father. Even though my father was still he fought to be in our lives, you know what I'm saying? But, a lot of people couldn't.
My next question, do you think that, okay, do you believe that what issues prompted the breakdown of the family structure, in your opinion?
Well, like I said, like the incentivization, you know what I'm saying, of divorce, single mother homes became more prominent, you know what I'm saying, in our community. Mass incarceration of black males and people who were potentially fathers, you know what I'm saying, the war on drugs. We see once, the drug issue shifted over to other demographics, all of a sudden now, you know what I'm saying, they want to treat it like, you know what I'm saying, a whole different kind of issue than when it was, primarily focused in our community. So, drugs, family court, you know what I'm saying, and social, social system, social services, and all of that stuff absolutely incentivized the degradation of the black family.
Now, the question that I really wanted to ask, anyone on the panel can answer to this to the best of their ability. Do you believe that the culture, and I'm talking about Hollywood, music, do you believe that that it had a hand in the breakup of the?
Oh yeah.
We grew up. We've grown up with Motown in the '60s, Marvelettes, the Supremes, Four Tops, The Temptations, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, all kinds of love songs, love ballads.
Yeah.
You know, the 70s, all kinds of love ballads, and especially going into the late 70s, the disco era, going into the 80s. With all of that, and with all of the shows, such as, Julia came out in 1971, about a single mother, black single mother, moving out to the suburbs. You have All in the Family. You have Different Strokes and all of that. But let me go all the way to our current, to the 21st century with My Wife and Kids. Do you think all of those shows like Tyler Perry and Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married Too? Do you think that all of those movies had a direct effect in the way the family structure and how the family structure was destroyed, was taken apart?
Anyone?
Yeah, anybody
I don't want to
Can you repeat the question, please? I just got on the panel. Shout out to the panel, everybody. How you guys doing?
What's up, Timothy?
Blessings to the panel. I just dropped there too. Yeah, repeat the question.
Young Scribe, what's up?
My question is, do you think if the entertainment industry had anything to do or had something to do with the breakdown of the black family structure?
Okay, bet. And I just dropped in, mind you. I can only go with what I just heard. The breakdown of the black family. I would say that kind of stuff was happening prior to those shows even coming out. I think that was a plan that was set in effect, and they kind of neutralized us to the point where we just watching. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they was just we watching stuff like that, and this is like we already lived through that type shit, and now we can find like the funniness in it. That My Wife and Kids, that's the show that Damon Wayne do, right?
I would say that absolutely the entertainment industry as a whole does play a part in the shaping of how our culture has been degraded, because unfortunately the black community consumes, and we like some of the biggest consumers that there are. You know, like we're such big consumers that we don't have money in our own communities. We give our money away as soon as we get it. Like other groups, you know, they circulate their money throughout their community. They support each other's businesses and so on and so forth. As soon as we get $1, we run to the store and spend it. So us being consumers, I do believe that media has influenced, because only thing media does is they put out what people want. So I came up with Family Matters, and I'm 43 years old. You know, I came up with all of that stuff too. Now, what they putting out now, when they put out Family Matters, I grew up with my parents were married. Cosby Show, my parents were married. I could relate to that. So the consumer now is what, 4 generations in of single mothers and I don't need a man culture. So that's not, that type of stuff isn't relatable. An audience that never seen a household with a mother and a father in a healthy relationship is not going to relate to that. You know what I mean? They're relating to what they see, the reality shows of baby mamas and baby daddies, because that's what they see. So it's in a sense, it is art reflecting life, but it's bad that it's that way. We need more positive influences, and the sad part about it is, and y'all, let me ask y'all this question. This is just a hypothesis I have when I think back on, like you said, like Drew just said, we think back on it and we laugh at it. Why is it that whenever black family shows come out, it's presented as a comedy, as if it's a joke, as if it's a joke for a black man and a black woman to have a good career and have a house and be raising their kids? Even in the more recent one was what they took off the air not too long ago, Blackish. Blackish was an advertisement executive. Anthony Anderson was married to a doctor, an anesthesiologist, Tracy Lee Ross. And that was a joke, because the TV show is a comedy. So why is it that whenever we present a positive image, it's presented as a joke? Like, oh, this could never happen. It's just, you know what I mean?
Right. That's how I was feeling too. Like, I don't know if they try to deliver it like this will never happen, or they try to deliver it as like this is happening, but look at these people. They, you know what I'm saying, they still have these struggles type shit. Like, I don't under you know I don't understand that, but
Right.
you're right. You got a point. It is always presented as some type of comedy. You know what I'm saying? When reality, motherfuckers is struggling and ain't nothing funny about it. You know what I mean? But
But it
Yeah.
kind of
that's
goes
just
into
what we
the
deal with.
idea of a lot of like the one person on the panel said that it was art imitating life, and that goes into I kind of segues into what I wanted to say. It's called the it's pretty much movies are not made. It's called the cathartic view of art, and what that means is that it's no longer about making a movie or writing a story or writing a screenplay to tell a story from a creative perspective. It's all about pushing an agenda. How far are we going to go over the moral cliff before we get the message to the people that's watching this show? Oh, it's about two guys kissing each other. It's about this. It's about that. So it's about that. It's about pushing an agenda, and all of these guys, people, a lot of the conspiratorial point of view is the Jews own everything. The Jews own Hollywood. The Jews own the music industry, and I'm not too far away from believing that, because who wrote The Jeffersons? Who wrote All in the Family? It was Norman Lear, who died 2 years ago. Wasn't a black man writing these shows. Sanford and Son, same person. So it kind of baffles me to know that when we all thought they were funny, all of these shows that I just named, but it was pushing a narrative. It wasn't just about writing a story or making somebody laugh or anything like that. It wasn't about just being creative. It's just about pushing a narrative, and the more you watch it, the more desensitized you become.
But it's
Right.
interesting you brought up Norman Lear, because at the same time, if you look at father figures that he wrote, like in Good Times and things like that, he wrote better male characters than you see Tyler Perry writing right now.
They had what's her name had to beg for them to make sure that she had a husband.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
right. He didn't. Yeah, they weren't going to write no
Esther
man
Roll.
in there. And then
But
yes, the role.
even though she wrote him,
Pearl.
even though right, but even with that being said, even she had to request it when they did write him. They still wrote a better character than Tyler Perry writing black men right now. And
No,
I
he was
call
still
it.
sorry. He was soggy, man. I mean, he was a good father, but he was going through hell, and he was breaking down and screaming on his children and screaming at his. There was a couple of times where I got scared watching that show. I thought he was going to slap Esther Roll.
Right.
You talking about James Amos?
But you gotta.
He was an angry black man. He was very upset,
Yeah,
having a
time.
hard time keeping jobs and the whole nine. They didn't do him justice.
Right.
I will say this,
I agree with
as
that,
an
but at the
actress-
same time, too, it was a reflection of the time. The character that he is in the 70s as a grown man. I mean, he was born in like the 30s. So yeah, that is.
And then where did he go? Where did he go? He disappeared.
No, he died. They killed
In
him.
the last 2 or 3 seasons, they killed him off in the show.
They killed him off
See
the
that?
show. Yeah.
The black man is never going to survive, just like they always kill him off in the beginning of the movie.
But
Tragic.
to comment on what David was saying earlier about he was saying with the Jews, even with the Jews, I like to counter that argument with what I call the death of the Hollywood shuffle, because I don't know if you guys are all around in my age or in the same age. You guys remember the movie Hollywood Shuffle?
Yeah, of course.
With Robert Townsend. Now
I'm an old man, so yeah, I remember all of them things.
Okay, so the premise of Hollywood Shuffle is like, all of these fantastic black actors that went to Juilliard and all of these upper class high acting colleges and schools and all of that, and they would always get cast in roles as the gangster, the killer, the pimp, the criminal. And the whole point of the movie was saying, how come whenever they cast black people, we have to be these negative stereotypes? Fast forward 20, 30 years, when black people own their own studios, what are we casting ourselves as? The drug dealer.
Right, absolutely.
The pimp.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it's not, I can't completely hold on to the notion that it's a Hollywood agenda for the Jews and all
It's
of that.
not totally, yeah.
Yeah, because when we're not even when we put ourselves like, what's that, what's her name? Shonda Rhimes did the Scandal joint where she had Kerry Washington being you know, a bomb lawyer to fix her and all of that, but she was still, you know, laying up with the president on the slide, you know, and dissing the brothers to be the president's side chick. It's like, what are we doing? Like, how do we?
What was that? What was that? What was you watching?
It was
Scandal.
Scandal. Yeah, me and my wife used to watch it with my wife.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I don't watch. I don't watch Empire, and I will not watch Power. I don't watch Negro.
I don't watch Power.
Shows.
Oh,
They're
nigga, you ain't
so
watching
terrible,
Power. You
man.
missing out, bro.
Yeah,
Fire bun, all of the Batman thing that.
Quick question, guys.
Man, I'm done, man.
Quick question.
Aaron has a question.
Is there not to change the topic, but I wanted to see if anybody else on the panel had smoke that they wanted to get off their chest while we having this, you know, conversation. Did anybody have something else on their chest that they wanted to speak on?
You mean like I don't have smoke with anybody?
I mean, don't threaten me with a good time.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be like with a person. It could just be like you got a hot topic that you feel like you wanted to address. Like I saw Kwame's comments in the chat. I know Timothy has had some things to get off that, you know, he particularly might wanted to say. Zion as well. J-Fax. Just giving everybody the opportunity to, you know, to throw in the topic.
Okay.
Yeah, niggas is grown and can't read.
Well,
usually I'm the dude.
Okay, well,
usually I'm the one that lights the fire, and you know what I'm saying. But I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying. I'm good.
I got one.
Yesterday's situation was brief, and you know what I'm saying. It was momentary. I'm not sweating that. I like the conversation that's going on right now. I like those progressive, conversations where we can discuss.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, the issues
Kwame.
in the community and stuff like that.
My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, Zion. I was just saying, Kwame, go ahead and get your get something out your chest, bruh.
Kwame just came.
Kwame gone. That's
just
actually
came
Young
back from
Scribe.
JJ 7000 show, so he probably got a whole lot of smoke. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I didn't
I
even
don't think he's still on the panel.
Yeah.
Oh, I just added a newcomer. I got
yeah, that's Young Scribe on the left.
I got Young Scribe. You got anything you want to get off your chest?
No, man, I'm just here for the show, man. I just tuned in.
Okay,
I got something I want to get off my chest, man.
I definitely got an opinion on everything, though.
I got something. I know Young Scribe gonna have an opinion on this. I got a question because now, you know, I ain't trying to, you know, piss nobody off. Yes, I am. But here's my question, because the Oxford Dictionary, everybody familiar with the Oxford Dictionary?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oxford University and all that good stuff. Okay,
Yep.
so would you say they respect it?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So Oxford describes what I'll say this. One of the descriptions, and this is not the main definition, but one of the definitions for religion is a pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you give us a regular example?
So I'll tell you like myself. Anybody who's been watching this channel, anybody who know me personally know, when it comes to my wife of coming up on Friday of 27 years, who I've known since second grade and probably been chasing her since about then. When it comes to her, I am religious about sex. It is a pursuit or interest to which I ascribe supreme importance.
Yeah, it's a super simple definition.
Yeah. So the reason I asked if everybody agree with it is because I got another question. So does everybody agree with that though?
Yes, we go to work religiously. We eat religiously. There's a bunch of things we do religiously. Yes, 100%.
Exactly.
I'm glad Jamal said that. I mean, go ahead, DMG. I want you to finish what you're saying, because
Yeah. So this is my question to the panel. With the way we see it displayed by some people, not everybody, but by some people in our community, does atheism qualify as a religion?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is my response.
Yes.
DMG. In the context that you just used it in, right, referring to your wife or whatever, and how Jamal just kind of backed it up with, you know what I'm saying, anything could be seen as religious when you use it in that context. I mean, everything would be religious that's pertaining to an individual's quote unquote importance. Like, I could easily say I could go to the gas station religiously to fill up my car because I need to travel, and that's just something that I do regularly. You know what I mean? Like, you can easily equate it to something that you do regularly and say that's religiously. If you love doing it, if you need to do it to you know what I mean, to survive type shit. So
Right.
that's my answer to that.
Hey, young scribe, you know what, man? You are literally the first person that I know of, because I've said this to various people, and I kid you not, you are the first person to just straight out address and answer that question honestly. Do you know how much fight I get when I ask that question? I am not BSing. You are the first.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Hey, you know what? I had to learn to answer that question. I had to learn to answer that question in that fashion because I was a naysayer in the beginning. Like, yeah, no, that ain't no religion. That you can't say that. But if you keep it to the context that the person is using that word in, then yeah, everything could be seen as religious under that context.
Exactly. So to answer Pan's question, exactly the way I just read it. When you espouse your atheism to the point where you demean and make fun of a person's religion or theism, you are making your atheism obvious. You are making it obvious that your atheism is of supreme importance to you. It's a pursuit or interest to which you ascribe supreme importance. Otherwise, why the hell would we even know you're an atheist?
Even then, DMG, in the
Your
definition
name
of atheism,
is Pandemus, the Pan-African atheist. So we're going to keep it on you. Why is that even in your name? Why is what you, if it's not of supreme importance to you, why is it in your name? That's like Slim Reaper putting Slim Reaper, the philosophical Christian, because it's of supreme importance to him. So you made my point, my G.
Yeah, the thing about atheism is like atheism has a set of tenets that they follow though too. You know, they follow the sense of secularism, they follow skepticism, they follow science, they follow humanism and critical thinking and naturalism. There's a whole lot of things that qualify that you can I'm using my air quotes doctrines that they subscribe to qualify them as a religion. They just
I'm sorry, who's saying that right now? Who's saying that right now?
Timotheus.
What's your cash app, brother? Because you up here. What's your cash app, brother?
No, you don't got a cash app. I appreciate you though.
I'll give you mine though.
Look, let me put mine up on the screen. Hold on. Let me put mine up on the screen. Damn.
I'm actually his manager. I collect payments on his behalf.
Say this,
hey, look, check this out.
I will say this to Pan's last comment though. Like he put supreme importance. He put a question mark. I believe he put that because atheism is really just like the position and the argument that there is no God, that a God doesn't exist. I don't think that necessarily means that all that atheists would subscribe to any of those things that you said necessarily. You know what I mean? Not every atheist can sit here and have a debate with you about the ideology. Some people are just gonna be like, it don't exist, and I just don't subscribe to that. There's no ideology attached to you know what I mean? Like,
remember I said some people. Remember, that's that. I agree 100%. But look, we got the man in question, the animated assassin, the one and only Pandemus African, or some would say Eminem head. I'm not saying that to my brother at all, but some people do.
Yo,
I say animated assassin. But before he say something, I got to hit this button. I've been waiting for him to come up here just so I can hit it for him.
And here we go.
Go ahead, my brother.
Let's go. First of all, shout out to the entire panel. Big up DMG, Paradigm Shift, the whole fucking show year. Mick, can y'all hear me?
Pan. Let me stop.
Yeah.
I'm about to.
Do you mean to talk in a particular tone?
No, we good. I appreciate that.
You my brother. I had to make sure.
No.
Yes, we are. We got the Eminem heads, and you know what I'm saying. We got to stick together, and I respect it. So to answer the question about theism,
hey, we're not letting that slide by. I heard what you just said.
I appreciate the laugh. Thank you. That's what's up.
I heard what he said too.
So listen,
that's what I get for trying to look out for him.
I just need to know, DMG, can you just read the original definition that you said the first time?
A pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance.
Supreme importance, right? Now, dealing with me specifically, my family is way more important than anything in my life at all. Do nothing even come close, right? And that right there, so it can't be that me personally would be religious with atheism, right? So as far as my name is concerned, I have that as a title for a reason.
May I ask one question before you continue?
Absolutely.
Can you not have more than one thing that you consider to be supremely important?
No, that's tricky. It sounded like the debate they was having last night, but supreme seems like the highest thing. And meaning there really can't be a whole bunch of other things at the top. I guess there's one highest thing that's the supreme thing. If there's more than one, then it's not a supreme.
So, so your mother and your wife, not both supremely important to you?
Woo, shit. Well, that's tricky personally because my mother has passed away. But I did say my.
I'm sorry for your loss, but let's just say when the queen was still alive.
And I appreciate that, but I did say as my family is supreme to me.
No. I'm just saying between the two of them.
Yes.
Or your wife and your daughter, if you have one.
I do, and yeah, no, it's the same. They are me. You know what I'm saying?
They both are supremely important to you, then, right?
They are my family.
I got smoke, DMG. I got smoke. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Because hold on. So we gonna say your family is one, but we can't differentiate between the ones within the one. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I didn't tell you can't do nothing that you was doing, brother. You go ahead and rock out with what you was doing. For you, it's what I'm doing. But I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Yeah, I guess you could hold multiple things in super high regard to the point you can call it supreme. I give you that. But who's really doing that with atheist? Who's putting now? I didn't think you was gonna go the direction like as far as making love. I thought you was just gonna say she's your supreme whatever, right? So, but either or, right? Who do you know that puts atheism at either of those levels in their life?
Anthony Vaughn.
Let me be clear. I'm not saying that everyone who is an atheist feels this way, but I'm saying I keep it to my brother Pan. When you have Pandemus The
Pan-African atheist. Yes.
in your moniker.
Yes.
About that's you clearly your status as an atheist is important to you.
It is, but the reason the title is there is because as a black atheist, you know what I'm saying, coming into that understanding that you can be black and atheist at the same time, you know what I'm saying, despite what some apologists would tell you, you know what I'm saying, there's not many outlets for people to look to see a conversation about that. And so my point was to make sure I had that in the title, so when people look up something, they would see certain things.
And you tell people how absurd it is for them to believe in a deity, right?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, my focus is the religious oppression of others and nons around the world, specifically black folks. You know what I'm saying?
Now you know I moderated the debate between you and Jay Fax, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't tell people it's absurd for them to believe in a religion.
No, as a matter of fact, like I just said, it's you do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily believe it yourself.
I think you might be a lawyer in real life.
Hey, I've been rocking with Zion. Let's get it.
All right, man. We're gonna pass it on. Pan, I appreciate you coming up, man, and keeping it in good spirits with your brother.
For sure.
Even though you look like an Eminem without the shell.
Man, salute to the Savage Six, Feb.
We got the Slim Reaper in the building. Slim Reaper. It's Free Smoke Friday. Who you got smoke with? What you got smoke about?
I rebuke the spirit of illiteracy in Jesus' name.
Shundo!
That runs rampant here. Ho, shababa. I rebuke it. Hey, testify, DMG. That brother been tough.
Hey, y'all gonna make me joke.
Testify, brother. Let him use you. That's right. He's a living water. But yeah, I got smoke for
how much wine have you had tonight, man?
Enough of it. Let's start there.
Okay, go ahead. I just want
to say, listen, I got smoke for all of the commenters, the dissenters on yesterday, because that was one of the worst displays of literacy that the black community has ever seen. It's like it's so bad. Our ancestors have been set back to the pre-Jim Crow era, where niggas was getting limbs removed for their inability to prevent them from being able to learn and be educated. Because I was in the comment section just annoyed as all get out. So just smoke for Paradigm Shift TV 314 viewers. Just general smoke is enough to go around. Especially if you was commenting that Corey was winning that debate yesterday. I hate you and everything you stand for. So
when I say Takori got enemies, got a lot of enemies.
No, listen. It's not even that. Now Takori's an idiot, right? But that's not the point. That's not the point, right? But the issue is the fact that this is why, like, you have to be able to read. You can't just turn a debate that says is Jesus God into is he the most high God, or then saying, well, I'm asking to see a capital G. What the hell are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? And that's what it turned into. And then it was, well, yeah, Jesus can forgive sins and he's God incarnate and things like that. And that's just because he and the Father are one. What are we talking about? Like, so it's a problem. But most of the smokers for the commenters, who was saying that he was winning, because it's just like, that's how you know the school system has failed us in this country. Right. We have allowed, right, all of the literacy programs, right, to leave our schools, right? It ain't enough money for tutors to go around. And it's clear, right? That's expressed in comments on YouTube. So I just want to turn this political real quick and say, hey, you got to be careful who you vote for. These politicians are the reason that there's retarded people on YouTube.
You got one politician that turned a hoe into a housewife in Amber Rose, and you got another politician that got a hoe on stage twerking. I think I'm going with the one that had the hoe on stage twerking. I'm just playing with y'all. I'm just playing. So Slim Reaper, real quick, what did you think of my recent my exchange just now with the one and only Pandemus Milk Dud Head? I mean Pandemus African.
Hey, no, hey, DMG, it's funny because I almost unmuted myself and say there's that philosopher coming out of you again, because you know those immediate counterexamples, you know, that's where it is, you know, that immediately put it to the test. So I'm very proud. I've really taught you well, man. I like the time we spent where I'm teaching you how to do this kind of stuff, man. It's been working. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't speak, because I know you.
Like that time I sent you my paper for you to help me out with that you never looked at, and I ended up getting a B- when I should have got an A+.
It was a philosophical lesson there, right? I was trying to teach you that you need a community. And so you see what you do if you isolate it. And I'm trying to teach you how to stay connected to the body of Christ. Because to yourself.
I wasn't a Christian when I wrote that paper.
And that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. I was illustrating. Disconnected from the body, you won't do well. That's the point.
You know what? Somebody kicked Leandre off the show. Timotheus, what you got on your mind, brother?
Well, the smoke that I was talking about earlier in the comments was I got smoke with the individuals that run around the internet. You know, I don't know if you guys make this type of content, but the ones that are misusing and misinterpreting KS's message to make it about like not getting married to black people, the destruction of the black nuclear family, when Kev's original message was the salvation of the black nuclear family, which is why he promoted that women need to stop running the streets and go make up with your baby daddy and put that family back together. That was his message. Not forget her, go get a passport and go marry somebody that's not black. You know what I mean? That's the smoke that I say I would have with stuff that's going on in the internet right now, you know, because
the red pills.
Yeah, because if we look at the concept of marriage as a whole, is we so anti-marriage, but when you look at all the other ethnic groups that practice marriage, they ahead of us. In economic standpoint, we number 99 and 100 on the list, black men and black women, while these other groups are going out as a nuclear family, having two income households, buying houses, buying multiple properties, not having beef with their family to where they can all put in on a big mini mansion, and the family have a manor. This is now the family manor. And now you have a group of people that before were living in a impoverished area and would have had to go to schools that are underfunded. But now that they put their money into one pot and got this nice house, their kids now have opportunities to go to better funded schools and just all around have a better outcome. But we don't think like that. And that's what we need to be pushing.
David, what you got to say about that, my brother?
I'm in agreement with him. I'm in agreement with Timotheus, because I've been saying this for at least about 10 years, that the black family is shattered, and we need. And the only reason why it's shattered now, as opposed to what it was like during the 80s, is because we don't want to get back together. And I'm not saying this is true because there are outliers for every situation. I know a few people that are happily married with children. My grandfather was married to his wife for 50 years before he passed away. God rest his memory. But I think that amongst the Gen Xers and the generation that came after us, I'm talking about the millennials, they're all about career, especially the ones that are educated, you know, and I'm not saying this is true for all, but this is true for most. And this accounts for 80% of all of our children being born out of wedlock. Now that's sobering. That's a sobering statistic. And so what that tells me is that all of the movies that we're looking at, all of the shows that we're looking at, like Housewives of Atlanta, Why Did I Get Married? 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of these other shows like the House of Tyler Perry's House of Pain, where the father is looked at as a bumbling, inept buffoon. It gives Black women this idea that men are just, we're not problem solvers, we're not thinkers, we're not intelligent. So all of the other movies like Baby Boy with
Tyrese.
Yeah.
Singer Tyrese.
Right. Big Tyrese.
And Taraji P. Henson. That's the stars. Snoop Dogg was the rapper in it.
Oh, Snoop Dogg. Thank you. But
I feel like David has to see the
Baby Boy and Juice and Menace to Society. Well, all those movies came out in the 90s when I was in high school. And what did they depict? Jason's Lyric. What did they depict? Thugs. You know, we got to be thugged out for the
Don't
women.
talk about my man Bokeem Woodbine.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yo, you mean evil Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all gonna make me start a movie channel, man.
You got to. I just want to add, Kwame says, I thought he was on the, I shouted you out, but I wanted to read his 2 comments. He says, blame the Black church and COINTELPRO. The Black church leaders in the community from COINTELPRO. Then he goes on to say, the Black church leaders are the ones with financial and political authority in the Black community. And he just commented again. So if the Black family is failing, the Black church and its leaders should be the first ones to lambast.
Slim Reaper.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, again, so this was already explained to him. In the
Yeah,
Black
he just
church,
keeps on fighting for this.
in the Black church, these are things that aren't really issues. There are entire studies done showing this stuff. Oh, I showed the book to that brother, and it's this one here. I'm going to show it again. When you look at the church itself, Psychology and Religion, Michael Argyle, there's multiple meta-analyses done on this. This is a book. This is a psychology course book, but there's multiple works done on this particular issue where when you compare the fate of churchgoers to non-churchgoers, it's not even a comparison. So if the Black family is failing, the Black church and its leaders should be the first ones to lambast? No, because the people that you're talking about who are doing the majority of this failing are not regular church attendants. So why would they're not there getting the instruction? Because the people who are there getting the instruction are the people who are actually
smoke. I got some smoke for the Black church to rebut what you just said.
Well, you can have all the smoke you want to, but you're going to just be blowing smoke. But I'm still in the middle of speaking. So hold your smoke and horses. Anyhow, the people who are regular church attendants are not the people who are experiencing these things. There is such a thing as the Protestant work ethic that actually shows that there's better outcomes. They usually do better educationally. They usually do better with marriage. They have longer lasting marriage as a family. So the church is the place where you go to, and the people who are in the church are actually doing better. So that's not at the foot of the church.
But okay, I would just like to say I'm 36, right?
Sorry to hear.
So
that.
I don't. What did you say?
Sorry to hear that.
Nigga, get out of here. You got to be older than me.
I'm not.
But anyways, though, as a 36-year-old Black man who
This motherfucker say, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's what I said.
Yeah, man, get this nigga out of here, bro.
Go ahead,
get this nigga out of here, bro.
Dude right here. Wow, I don't know why he like that, man. Go ahead, young scribe.
Yeah, as a 36-year-old Black man, I don't see many of my. It is more of my peers who is taking care of their children versus my peers, my friends who I can name that are not taking care of their children. So I would say that even though social media or pop culture has this image of the Black man, they have all these little stats they like to run to from the past and all this good shit and all these movies and songs they like to refer to. I would say that we are not those people that they referring to. At least the people in my generation. We ain't like that no more. Like we didn't learn from our parents' mistakes because we are the generation of motherfuckers that got left by their fathers, quote unquote. We didn't learn from those mistakes. I don't see many of my friends who have kids not in their kids' life. There's more people in their kids' lives that I know, and this is just my circle because the person I am, than there is people that is not in their kids' lives. I really don't like that stereotype, and that shit bothers me as a father who's here full time every single day, 365, 366, whenever it's a leap year, I guess. I don't know how that shit works, but I'm here all day, every day, bro. So I really don't like that stereotype and that conversation that the black fathers ain't in the kid's life, and that shit ain't. I would say that shit don't apply to them. It doesn't apply today.
Can I
At
ask you a
least not
question
in
on
my
that?
personal life.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Bet, go ahead.
So, well, let me say this. I went back and forth with a couple racist white dudes one time, and a racist Egyptian. Go figure. On this topic, because they're classified as white on the North American census. Anyway, so I'll say this to your point. There's actually numerous studies that have actually shown that black fathers are some of the most involved fathers in most areas, except for one of the areas is in reading to our children. But I think to the point that David was making, he might actually be referring to a subset of black Americans. I think that multiple scholars have noted that there's at least 2 black Americas. And so I would say that me, like in the people I'm around, everybody's like involved fathers, but at the very same time, I know numerous people who aren't. And now those people aren't around in my circle right now. So I guess my question to you would be, would you say that is a trend that's also in the other black America, right? So like the inner city black America, would you say that trend is there as well?
Can you repeat that? I seriously didn't hear what you said. It sounded like you just kept stopping and starting.
Okay, you got an Obama phone, and that's what's clear. But no, what I was saying is that which part didn't you hear? Did you hear the part where I was saying about black fathers being the most involved?
I heard that part.
Okay, so what I was asking is, do you think that
I appreciate you saying that man got an Obama phone?
Well, what's wrong with an Obama phone, DMG? Let's talk about that.
If ain't nothing wrong with it, why did you say he had an Obama phone? When
Scribe, Scribe, basically what he's asking you, Scribe, is, since the studies show that black men are the most active fathers of all other groups, would you say that behavior still happens in the deep hood, the hoods?
Exactly.
Inner city.
See, he had to dumb it down because he went over. But go ahead.
Wow.
It wasn't about dumbing it down. You just
but you did
use less. You could have used less subjects and less predicates and got to the point. You know what I mean?
No, I got to the point. But you see how you had to take out
long-winded for no reason.
You see how you try to take out subject and predicates and then say it's not dumbing it down? I think that's what the definition is. Go ahead.
Hey, I think Timothy is getting some smoke for the Slim Reaper.
Nah, he wouldn't want to do that to himself.
But what you think, young Scribe?
I don't know. I can't speak to the inner city. I don't live there.
Well, yeah. That was part of the reason I was asking.
That's why I specifically was speaking to my circle and where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So again, but like I said, to your larger point though, like as far as like if that's being applied to sort of black men as a whole, that is something that was the case a couple of decades ago. But since then, and I think that a lot of people, like a lot of us, especially through that boy said verses, like from the Bible. But a lot of us, I think, who, if we experienced that, like I did, like my father was in
probably was an autocorrect.
Yeah, I bet it was. They thought he was talking about the book of Matthew. Don't try not to. I see you, DMG. But yeah,
bro, stay focused.
Now, listen, I'm always focused. I can do 2 things at once. Now, but yeah,
it's like you can ascribe supreme importance to 2 things.
Yeah, that was a nice callback. But yeah, so like me, so my father spent 24 years, 8 months in the federal penitentiary on his last stretch. 53 days he was out prior to that, and he did like 4 years prior to that. So 4 years, 53 days out, and then 24 years, 8 months. So mine wasn't around, and when I was living in the hood, none of my friends, none of our parents were, none of our moms was on dope. Fathers wasn't present. Was in jail or just out doing their own thing.
Yeah,
but
so I think,
yeah, I appreciate it. but the trend was, it's like for me and my brothers like us who experienced this, and other people who I knew who was around us, a lot of us, like, you know, like we take pride in the fact that we didn't raise our kids even in the same area as anybody else. You know, as areas we came from, and we became present fathers for the lack of presence. But I do know, you know, that for people who are still in the area, the people I'm still connected with, a lot of the youth and stuff there, and then like dealing with group home kids and stuff, a lot of them know, like from that community, they don't have present active fathers, you know, for one reason or another. That's why I was asking, because it could just be the case that, kind of like you indicated, like your circle, it may not be the case, but in certain circles it is still the case.
Okay. Yeah.
Too many predicates for you.
You done doing what the Slim Reaper do. Timothy, is hopefully you ain't forgot your thought. You wanted to respond to something Slim Reaper did.
Hey, y'all have a good night, man. I'm gonna check out, man. I gotta tend to the family.
All right, young
Scribe, man. Appreciate you coming back, bro.
Have a good night, man.
I see you in the back chat. What I want to say, it was to what he said in the comments about the black church. I was saying that the smoke that I have with the black church is kind of some of what he's implying. He's not necessarily saying it directly. Hang on a sec. You guys gotta turn those tablets. Okay, my bad. My children got the devices on.
All good, bro. We all got family. You ain't got to apologize.
All right. So, but what I was saying is, to what he was saying in the comments is that, like with the black church, like they intake all of this money to where they're building mega churches. You see these pastors and their wives and their families live very abundant lives. And to what God mentioned earlier is, you know, that some of the people in the church are the ones that are having the better outcomes. Well, that speaks to the psychology of those individuals, because here's individuals that are going to a church, giving this institution a lot of money, and the purpose of this institution is to give back to the community and take care of, air quote, God's people, but they're not building community. There's a black preacher that has a $20 million airplane. How many acres could that buy and track homes be built and to be rented to the parishioners of the church, even if it's at low income, so it's still a profit? You see what I'm saying? It's like, why is the church not taking care of the community as it claims to do? As he's saying in there, they have the most political influence because people go to church and the church say Donald Trump is the devil, and there are people that will believe that and vote the other way, or they say something about Kamala, and people will believe that and vote in that direction. So what does it say to the psychology of these people that are doctors, lawyers, and all of that, going to these churches, giving these people money, and they're watching these people profit off of their money and not giving it back to the community, but they're doing it just so they can say, "Look at me in the church." You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, are you done? So I can respond?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay. So a couple things that were just incorrect with what you said. First and foremost, when you speak of the black church is not a monolith. These are mostly very small churches. Most of the money that comes into churches goes back into things like benevolence and staffing. So one of the things that the black church is, it's a very large employer of black people in the black community. But when you talk about all of the money that the black church is getting, well, that's really silly. And the reason is because you have in one geographical area, you could have hundreds of black churches, and those pastors are not there. These are not megachurch pastors. To appeal to an extreme like that, right? Like you don't have hosts of black megachurch pastors. There's not even enough income in black communities to make that be a reality. So that's false. Majority of those funds go to things like benevolence, and they go to staffing. And most pastors, especially in the Christian church, these are bivocational people who are having to work outside of it in order to make ends meet. So you don't have the church taking in all of this money. You have, on the aggregate, if you add all of the money and things like that together, but then you divide it across 40 some odd million people, that's not a lot. But these churches do things like they pay people's rent. For me, in 2008, the church provided me an attorney. That is part of the reason I'm out speaking to you now when I was fighting a life sentence. The church does things like provided one for my brother. They did things like put me on a train to leave town, which I'm back, but because they didn't want things to happen to me, they moved my family out of West Fresno. Hey, you see, I double back, but listen. So they moved my family. So the Black church does all sorts of things. Benevolence is one of the huge categories where they're paying people's electricity bill, their gas bill, their water bill, their rent,
tuition.
Tuition. They give out grants, scholarships, all that kind of stuff. I'll never forget. My mother was in prison. My grandmother had us, and the church. The pastor of the church rented us an apartment across the street from the house. And this isn't just me and my unique story. This is something that's everywhere across the Black church. But let's go to something else that you said that was woefully inaccurate. You talk about the purpose of the Black church is serving this community. The purpose of the church or the Black church is not to serve the community. That may be something that they do on the way to the larger mission, but the church is not meant to make people cushy and comfortable here. The purpose of the church is to save their souls. Now, the church does all sorts of things like feeding people, all the other things we just listed that they do as part of the larger mission that they do. But the Black church, you seem to be confusing for, the Red Cross Foundation, even though they do things like donate to the Red Cross Foundation. You seem to be confusing them with the Salvation Army, even though that's a parachurch organization, right? And some of the largest organizations where they give all this money to. The Christians who are in the churches are actually the biggest donators to charities, bar none. And so part of the other things that you have happening around, and this is all things that you can just look up. Christians in the churches are the people donating and giving money out. They're the biggest donators to charities and things of that sort. So
42,000 in the first 2 quarters of the year here.
Listen, insane stuff like that. So you have churches and you have Christians who are in these churches because of their heart for God and their heart for people, who are donating money left, right, and center all over the place. There is no other group who's giving as much as Christians and the churches. There is no other group. Okay. And so when you talk about the psychology of the people and things like that, again, if you're going to talk about why people who aren't in the church aren't flourishing, well, that's not the church's problem, because that's also not the majority of the church's mission. The other thing that the church does is the church serves the saint. Now, you can go evangelize, but a major part of your mission to people who aren't in the church is to evangelize. Because the major thing, and I know the thing that's probably not at the center of your mind when you're thinking about what the church is supposed to do, is they're supposed to prepare people for where they're going to actually spend eternity to. Now where they're going to spend decades. So this idea that you seem to have is that this is about this flourishing life and having all the stuff like that here. No, that's cool. And Christians will thrive. And especially in the United States, Christians typically thrive. And, they typically do really well educationally and things like that, right? Financially, they're typically doing better. But that's as an aside to what the larger picture is there. So I think, that you may want to go back to the drawing board on those things, because there's a lot of,
I don't have to go to the drawing board at all, because I am a former employee of a church. I was a minister of music at a church for many, many, many years. And everything you're saying is true. But this part that you seem to be excluding is there's more than just staff there. As I mentioned early, you think they build in big churches with pennies? Building it costs millions of dollars. And to what you said earlier, yes, I understand that not every mom and pop bodega is the same as 7-Eleven. Yes, I do understand that difference. But the point that I'm making is that, as I mentioned earlier, there are preachers that have airplanes that they purchased. Is that the best use of funds? You see what I'm saying? Like,
that would depend. But in either case, what you're appealing to, if we were looking at a bell curve, you're appealing to outliers. Now, you were someone who was likewise, because if you were a minister of music, you usually, typically, you were getting a stipend or some sort of payment.
Absolutely, I was getting a stipend.
Exactly. So one of the things that the Black church was doing was contributing to you economically as a person and helping you, if you had a family at the time, feed your family or just yourself. So, but majority of the people you're talking about, this would be at best a straw man to appeal to megachurch pastors. That's not the majority of the Black church. That's not the plurality of the Black church. That's not a large section of them one way or another. That's not a large minority of the Black church. That is legit an outlier. And so when you come with the smoke for the Black church, well, that doesn't apply to the Black church. That applies to the people that you're talking about who you're saying are misappropriating funds. Now, how they're using those sorts of things, we can't just say because they have a plane or things like that, that's an out and out misappropriation of funds. That's going to depend more on the specifics because, they could be using those, that airplane for any number of reasons. I don't know. I do know, though, that there are several megachurch pastors who I think I take issue with, but it's also the case that, that they do live among the people. So, I certainly don't think, and I'll tell you this just for full transparency. I was asked to leave a church for raising issue with one of the pastors who was asking. Now, median income in Fresno, I think at the time was like $47,000 or something like that, a couple of years back, 2013. And the pastor of the church at that time was asking for $220,000 or something like that. And he was going to be living far above his parishioners, with like 200 people in the church. And we did the math. I calculated it for him. And that's why I was asked to leave, because what you're asking for is you're robbing the people. So it's not as if I'm lost on the fact that sometimes you have people who misuse things. I'm just here to state that that's not what's going on in the black church. You do have outliers. But that's not smoke for the black church. That's smoke for some
And that's not even the point that I was making, because at the end of the day, from working for a church, I understand that a church is still a business, and every single one of them have a mission to grow. And to grow, you need more parishioners, which in turn mean more money, which is more money that you can, because each employee gets, as you said, a stipend or a salary, and they can pay themselves more as well. It is absolutely a job. And it is a business, and it is ran like a business. And people are, and as that pastor you just mentioned, he saw the product and he went to hike up prices like any other retailer would do.
Yeah, but that's false though, because you just said something else that's false. You keep appealing to these outliers, saying that the church's mission is to grow. Again, you may have had some bad experiences, but don't make those anecdotes get you to apply that to the aggregate, because that's just not true.
I've never met a pastor ever that says he's okay only having a church of one. He wants to grow his church and spread the word.
Growing the church. Well, listen. But when you're talking about growing the church, what you try to smuggle in there, that has something to do with income. I just told you, a majority of these pastors are bivocational. They're not there for the money. I've been to pastors' appreciations, right, where the pastor got a crispy $100 bill. Okay, that's what he got for serving for the whole year. Okay, so again, the idea of wanting to spread the gospel isn't the same as wanting to grow the church. You seem to equate the two, but that's really quick of you to do without actually establishing a connection. So you'll have pastors who want to grow a quality church as opposed to try to grow their budget. There are pastors who have capped salaries. There are pastors who don't take any salaries whatsoever. There are pastors, I know one, whose church is like 4 people in his house. So again, you can't take your bad experiences, right, and then pass those off.
You're making a lot of assumptions to just assert that I have bad experiences. You know what I mean?
Real quick. I want y'all to keep going, but I do want y'all to try to wrap it up, and then I want to get to J Facts.
I'm not making assumptions. It's evident in what you're saying, because you're talking about megachurch pastors and you're putting this towards the aggregate. Now, so I have the Southern Baptist Association, one of their handbooks from previous session, used to be on the board. Let me grab it. So you can actually take things like this, right? The State of the Church in California. These are things that they release all the time. And you can look at things like church growth, church attendance, the finances, things like that. So I'm not speaking anecdotally. You are, though. And at the very least, you're appealing to outliers. And so when you talk about these mega church pastors, you can't have smoke for the black church and then appeal to things that don't apply to the black church at large. The black church at large employs black people in the community. The black church at large supplies people with food in their communities. They do charity work. They give. The majority of Christians who are in these churches.
And so does Walmart.
And no, exactly. But did you see how I already covered this before? And I told you.
And so does what a business is a business, bro.
No, sir. Listen, the giving.
No, you're focusing on the product. You're focusing on the product. The way I'm presenting it is the product is salvation. The product is I'm doing this because I'm called to a higher power, and I want
that's
you
fine
to
that you say that, but you can't compare.
It's what's going to give me the money.
That's fine, but if you turn and say things, I compare things to Walmart where they need a tax write-off to a tax-exempt organization giving when they don't have to, that's ridiculous. Walmart has an incentive to give Walmart has an incentive to give for tax write-offs. The church is already tax exempt. And so the incentive for them to give and for them to do the sort of work they're doing is what?
I forget the name of that license, but that license said at the end of the day they can't have no money as a nonprofit. So they got to, if they got one penny over the budget, they got to give it away so they can. When they report on the tax, be like,
all right, DeAndre, final response, and then Timotheus' final response.
Timotheus, I challenge you, go find that law, because churches have savings accounts, churches have money, churches are not, they don't have to be at a zero at the end of the year. I challenge you to find that law.
Anything else on that, Timothy?
Oh, no. Because what he said is true. They can't have accounts because they have to have money to store to pay their employees because they're a business. They have merchant accounts. Absolutely.
Also false.
Gotcha. J Facts.
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask the question to Timotheus concerning the megachurch past or the mega churches themselves. Did you know that a large majority of mega churches actually take out loans?
Yes, absolutely. They get taxed to hell if they put that money in cash. It's a business. That's what I've been saying from the whole time. It has
the reason why I'm asking that. The reason why I'm asking that question is because there's a preconceived notion concerning where the church is getting its money to create these mega churches, right? And it furthers what Leandre is saying concerning what you're discussing as an extreme outlier, because even majority of the mega churches are literally getting loans.
And they're paying these loans back month to month. Like I got a mortgage, I pay it month to month, and every week they have people come to them and give them money.
Does a loan equate to being financially unstable?
No, not at all. Not at all. If you know how to use money, it doesn't at all. A loan could be massive.
I understand if the church got a loan, does that equate that the church is economically under or something? I don't understand.
No. That's
not the point he's making. The point that he's making is that the money is that all of the money that comes from the church is not them robbing the people, you know. And I agree. And to the point that he made, them getting the loan still ties to what I'm saying, because I have a mortgage and every month my mortgage is due. So if a church takes out gets a mortgage on a building, they got to pay that. They got a mortgage every month like everybody else. They have these people show up every week, 2-3 days a week, and give them some money, little nickel and dime here and there, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They pay that stuff. It's just like anything else. I don't know. It's not rocket science. It's like the simplest thing.
My whole point of bringing up the Black church is the Black church is one of the longest organizations in the Black community, and to simply not criticize them for our economic or political stance in America would be biased, because if the church leaders are the ones with most of the political power and the economic power, then we should be able to blame them if the Black community is failing. If they're one of the longest.
Say blame. I wouldn't say blame, but there is an
no. I would say criticize, not blame. Criticize.
Now, I want you to just repeat what you just said again, and I want you to tell us where you got this idea from that the church leaders, like this is where the economic power is. Can you give us something on that? Say more, please.
Well, the church is the one of the largest organizations in the Black community.
Right, you're meaning that proverbially, right? Huh? You mean that proverbially, right? Because you understand, like the Black churches are by and large, a lot of them are Baptist, Pentecostals, either Baptist, Pentecostal, things like that, right? So there's no we don't have a pope in the Black church, right? And so where are you thinking this money is?
Yeah, when I say the term the Black church, I know you know what I mean colloquially. Just like if I say Christian, you know what I mean colloquially.
Yeah, but the problem is that in order for what you're saying to be true, like what I'm asking is, where is the center with all of this money, right? What I'm saying is that, just like I just told to Timotheus a second ago, these are thousands and thousands of individual churches, most of which can't afford their bottom line. They're operating in the red.
Right, I agree. I addressed that. There is a difference between the mom and pop store and
well, no, that part wasn't to you. That was to him, because when he's
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh yeah,
relax. Relax.
I'm not up in arms. Relax. No need to get anxiety. Now, as I was saying,
You seem anxious, bro.
I'm not anxious about anything. You seem
And very tense.
Now you're trying to derail. I'm not anxious. You
No,
are.
I'm making
You got
I'm
your
making
feelings
an
hurt, thinking I was
observation.
upset. I'm telling you, can calm down. Now, if
See,
we can get back to what we're
and
saying,
then the ad hominem, bro. It's not even.
that's not an ad
Come on,
hominem.
bro.
Why does everybody want to talk about logic? That was not an ad hominem.
So you didn't indirectly insult me and make an assumption based on what you believe that I was saying or asserting?
No.
Okay. Carry on.
Anyhow, and also that wouldn't be an ad hominem. But anyway, as I was saying, in order for what you're saying to be true, right? And you talk about the black church and this financial power that they have. How does this like apply to thousands and thousands of individual churches? That's too.
Well, I'm looking at it as a whole, not the individuality.
Right, but why are you looking at it as a whole rather than individually?
Because they represent the same body, the church.
Right, but they don't have the same bank account, do they?
Of course not.
Okay. Do they?
Every Jewish community is not the same. A Sephardic, Ashkenazi, Karaite, they're not all the same. But when we say the Jewish community, colloquially, we know exactly what we're talking about. Or if I say the Muslim community, I don't have to get specific of Sunni, Shiite, and the other different sects. We know exactly what we're talking about.
But the problem with the analogy is that you're not making claims about what they are as a whole doing, and you are about the black church. You're saying the black church is not, and the black church is where all the political and economic power is. And I'm asking, how could that be stated when majority of these black churches, they're not economic powerhouses?
Well, for one, the black church is tax exempt, and they hold a lot of the land that's in the communities. So I don't understand.
Why do you keep saying that? I corrected you on
What
this.
state is he in? What state is he in?
I want
Because
to know what state you're in.
it's not
I'm in
true.
New York.
Hey, Cannon.
Yeah,
Hey, can you take over as the host?
you got it.
All right. Hey, brothers, I appreciate all of y'all coming on. Salute. We got Zion the Lion versus Lord Benu tomorrow. Before that, we're going to unveil who won between J Fax and TKO Takori. So we'll have all that for you tomorrow night. Keep checking out the community tab for a time, because I'm not sure what time it will be tomorrow, but it will be tomorrow evening / tomorrow night. So y'all come back and check that out. Zion versus Lord Benu and the results of the J Fax Takori debate. Remember, we got Pandemus African waiting in the wings along with A1 the sauce. And so we coming down to that final four real fast. Also, I'm doing a show Sunday, and I'm asking the question. It's going to be a Free Smoke Friday on a Sunday. And here's the question.
I disagree.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't want to change the title to Free Smoke Sunday. So that being said, the question is going to be, is atheism the real white man's religion?
Hey, talk about it.
Now, I expect to get stabbed about 57 times verbally. No, I don't. Let me stop lying. I expect to get some pushback, but I have a few very specific reasons for making this statement. Shout out to Nyame in the building. Hit the pepper, Nyame. I'm about to take off, but you can still come up here and say who you got free smoke with, who you got smoke with, or what you got smoke with, or whatever else on your mind. You always welcome. And but I got three main reasons for why I'm saying what I'm saying, and one of which I'm just gonna get the pettiest out the way. Is, to me, if you're willing to critique something, you should be open to having whatever it is you follow, believe in, or have an ideological view on critiqued as well. Pandemic say he'll see me on Sunday. Shout out to that brother. I hope he there. And whoever else want to join that conversation will be welcome to. But y'all come on back tomorrow for the debate. The versus series continues. Lord Benu versus Zion the Lion. And Sunday is atheism, the real white man's religion. That being said, y'all continue doing what y'all do. Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming on. I'm going to take off. My man, the Cannon, the Haitian Nightmare, Darian, is in charge. Please show each other the respect y'all think each other deserve. We got Classic Craig in the building. He ain't come up here to our left because he don't want that smoke with me either.
I just want to say this. DMG.
Hey, whoa. Why you interrupting me while I was talking, man?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was your gig. My bad. I'll stop. Keep going.
Look, I didn't make Pan take the atheist out of his name. Look at her.
Yo, stop it. I just wanted to say real quick. I was saying See Smoke Sunday would be a good title.
What's that?
See Smoke Sunday will be a good title instead of Free Smoke. See Smoke Sunday. You see me?
See Smoke Sunday.
Okay.
Just Smoke Sunday will be fine, Pan.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I might just say I might just don't even put nothing up and just say, is atheism the real white man's religion?
Which is fine, and I see what you're doing, and it's cool. I'll be watching.
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm just proposing a question, man. I feel like if people want to jump out the window and say things about certain things, they should mind if people say things about other certain things. That's all.
Them people sure should be down with it. They sure should. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about a certain animated assassin per se.
Hell no, definitely not nobody's favorite. Nothing for sure.
I'm just talking about them people. So hit dogs is gonna holler, and for those who don't get hit, it wasn't meant for them to get hit. You know what I mean? So, but hopefully, Pandemics will be in the building and he'll hit that panel Sunday. As will the rest of y'all, I hope, and we can have a meaningful discussion, and I could, upset some people and make them yell at me. Hopefully, Classic Craig won't be there to interrupt me as he is prone to do. What you want, Classic Craig? What do you want, man?
Well, I just want to say this with you here and the light-skinned person that named himself Dre Pac Shakur, blasphemous. Anyway, sorry, Tupac, he did that. Anyway, I would like to say this.
Who you supposed to be? You and Ratchet Craig Mob Deep. You remember what Tupac said to them, don't you?
Yeah, but luckily for us, Leandre's no Tupac. But anyway, so check this out, right? Me and Ratchet Craig have decided, that we have to start implementing our shows again after the tournament. So Classic Craig's Loud and Clears will be back in effect after the tournament. There's a lot to discuss. Also, we have another show coming on Paradigm Shift with the law firm, Craig and Craig Law Firm, bringing people together. That's our slogan. That's our way. Craig and Craig Law Firm.
In other words, that's Craig and Craig ripping people apart.
Actually, it's not going to be us ripping people apart. It's just there's been some people who have, fuck it. We're going to rip people apart. You're right, DMG.
Yeah, come on, man.
But, there's some things we have to do. There's been some produce some fraudulent information in the name of their faith, and it has to be dealt with.
Anybody in particular?
Anybody in particular? I'm just the biggest target is Leandre for his arroganceness, and I just have to deal with him.
He said arroganceness, and this is the problem. He said arroganceness. Does everybody hear that?
Arroganceness. Yes, arroganceness. Yes.
Can't wait to hear Salt and Pepper's performance.
Yes. Yes, Salt and Pepper. So anyway, like I was saying, right, we have to deal with that. It will be fun. It is Clip 'em Up season. It's going to be educational. And the first thing I'm going to do on my Loud and Clear, I will have an interview with Nada Black. That's right, the Nada Black, the sister of the notorious
What day is this?
DMG. I haven't set up the date yet. Damn, you want to be? Damn, you for real?
Hey, Craig, you forgot something, man. When you say the sister of the infamous DMG, you forgot one little part though.
What was that? What was that part?
I'm trying to hear the date she's gonna be on. Can you be quiet?
Same mama, same daddy.
Okay, I gotta write
What
that
day?
down.
I don't know why you want to know what day that is
I'm
because
trying to tune in to the. Listen, I'm trying to.
you're not allowed. You're not allowed to watch.
I just want to see it.
You're not allowed to watch.
This is awkward.
Can I get
You're gonna
the
be doing something with your wife that day.
Listen, I'm gonna be alone in my office watching it.
Listen, I don't care about what none of y'all talking about. Can somebody tell me when Mignette gonna be on the show again? I'm just curious. I'm interested in what this queen's gonna be talking about.
What the hell is going on here? Anyway,
She's gonna be on this Thursday.
what you gonna convert her, J-Fax?
Glory be. I am not seeking to convert that queen.
Part 2 of the power of living within my odds.
Wow, this is I don't what is this, Christian Mingle? We need to stop this. Paradigm Shift 314.
My screen name is
I was about to say, hey man, don't make me do my Leonidas. This is Paradigm Shift TV.
Yes, you guys are very animated, but we're gonna get back with it. Another thing too, I have
We
to
get that
say
from
this.
Pan. We get that. We get being animated from Pan. Get it? We get being animated from Pan.
Yes, I get it. I don't get it, but one thing I do have to say, Zion said he's not ready yet, so we're gonna see what date he is ready. Hopefully, you know it ain't hopefully. The judge is gonna be done tomorrow with their decision on what we're gonna
So we
see.
just gonna be having a results show so the debate not tomorrow.
Nah, Zion's not ready. He said he's not ready. He has some papers he have to do because the brother is in school. So Lord Benu, being cool, saying peace, God, I'm ready whenever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
But
pretty sure
Takori
it'll be
said that
happening next weekend.
Takori said that y'all had some improper stuff going on that y'all ain't addressed. So I just want to point that out.
I mean, of course, Takori would say
Takori
that.
said that y'all had one of the judges jumping up and
Shame.
commenting on the debate.
Shame.
So which one was that? Did you find out which one it was?
That was Melanin God, I believe it was.
So Melanin God is one of the judges. We need to get Melanin God up here and ask him why did he blow his cover.
Yeah, because anyway, I just want to point that out because he said it during the debate. So I don't know what kind of scam y'all run around here, but yeah.
Hey, Leandre, Melanin God is not a judge.
Shame.
Takori said he is, and Takori wouldn't lie.
Shame.
Actually, Takori's paranoia was
one
messing
more
with him.
time.
But to be honest with you, I know you would lie. But
I'm putting it every time you talk, Dre Pop.
I just want to say because
yeah,
I'm just saying. Corey said that this is what y'all doing, and last time y'all was greasing palms. So I don't know.
What you mean greasing palms? Explain.
Y'all were bribing judges.
I was bribing judges. You have proof of this?
Shame.
Nope.
So you're just going by faith, huh?
Nope. Going by testimony.
Glory to be. All right.
Of someone who you wouldn't believe if they said your leg was on fire and your balls was burning.
If the nigga told me what time it was, I'm gonna question it. So listen, I don't care what it is. I just want to say, he said that Craig was up to something, and so I believe him.
Shame.
Well, yeah, I think we are up to something.
Shame.
We are. You'll see. But
Shame.
yeah. So you're right. Heru Consciousness is one of the judges. The great Detective Leandre figured it out. We've been foiled again. So yeah. So when the judges get everything together, we're gonna have the winner to see whether it be the great operative of faith, J-Fax, or TKO Takari. We'll see with that. But yeah, check it out. Me, not a black, same mama, same daddy from DMG.
We didn't get the date. We didn't get the date for that.
You'll be the first person.
You can't watch it no way. You're gonna be somewhere with your supermodel wife. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna give her a call.
I can't watch my YouTube. That's racist.
No.
How the hell you have his wife number?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, you know what? See, DMG was already. And if y'all don't know, you got to protect your wives from DMG. There's a whole brother. DMG then took his wife, and I'm not joking. He did a whole presentation on it. If anybody needs to see it, DMG, can you send me that DeAndre fella's contact info? I have some info.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wow. You hear this? You hear this?
Y'all know DMG has an account on an XXX website.
Wow.
What?
He does. I don't know. The Nehemiah 9:10 told me this. DMG don't even want to admit it.
Hit that shame thing one more time.
Yeah, DMG, hit shame now. DMG,
you're a straight up idiot.
push the button.
Shame.
I don't believe this.
Shame.
There's no proof. I
Oh,
think they're
there's
lying.
proof. There's testimony. Listen, I'm gonna drop the stuff in the back chat. That's what I'm gonna do. Y'all
Don't drop it in the back. Did you do some investigation?
Shame.
listen. Are you not entertained? I'm working with somebody right now to expose DMG.
Is this not why you are here?
Is this not why you're here?
Men's agenda.
Again, now I just want us to question why and how this man would know anything about me having an XXX page, OnlyFans page, or anything of the sort. When he has a supermodel wife.
I was contacted.
Hold on. I just want to make sure we clear on something. Despite the fact that he has a supermodel wife, this is verified. She's a supermodel, very beautiful young lady. He is overly concerned. Did you see how optimistic he just got just now? Overly concerned with me potentially having an XX fans page or fans only XX, whatever he called it, type of situation going on. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I find that disturbing. I find it disconcerting. I find it morally reprehensible that a man with a wife as pretty as his just got excited, I dare say, about the prospect of me having some kind of XXX adjacent situation.
Why aren't you denying it though? See, this is the thing. Here's the thing.
Why aren't you denying your optimism for it, despite the fact that you have a supermodel wife?
I care about black families, and you tore that man's family apart.
Wow.
And
do
so
you care about your black family?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm trying to keep you away from her.
Then I would say curb your enthusiasm, sir.
Hey, listen, you need to just own it. You took that man's rib. He said it. I can show it to anyone who wants to see it. I was told about this.
Taking that man's rib is diabolical.
Hey, that's what he typed. He said he said everybody needs to watch their wife. So if you're married, I'm telling you now, DMG gonna show up with his bald head. He gonna oil the beard. Okay, a little just for me.
Why are you talking about me putting oil on my body, man?
I mean,
because this is your
light
move,
skin. This is what they do. So,
Hey, look, check it out. Hey, look, watch this. Watch this.
Is this y'all king?
Hey, look. Do y'all see this? Make this big. Make nothing big.
Making nothing big.
Hey, listen. It says she sounds like my.
All I see is Nappy Head Henry.
Keep your women away from DMG, Ak.
How many screenshots do this guy got? God.
Oh wait. Listen, if you want to know how many screenshots I got, hang on. I can answer that question for you right now.
No, Leandre, don't answer those questions. I know I'm in some of those too. So chill.
Yes. Wait, check it out. There's 17,000.
You gonna make me explain this idiot to people?
No, listen. You don't need to explain nothing. The truth is out there.
Yeah, I think they heard
17,440 screenshots.
They hear a weirdly skinny individual talking about me putting oil on my body and things of that nature instead of concentrating on his supermodel wife. That's what they say.
What plan are you on to have? You said, what was the number again?
17,000.
Whoa, how many gigabytes do you? Man, I'll talk to you later about that. Yeah, that's
so. He's probably using the cloud. I actually use an external drive for all my shit because I dare a nigga to say some shit that I ain't saying.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when I told you that I was gonna make a show called a 2-Man Power Trip? It's because these dudes is the same person. And then look, I'm gonna call them Power and Glory, because Leandre weigh like 95 pounds. J Fax is like triple that. Leandre has no muscle. J Fax is like one huge muscle. So
DJ
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him Power and Glory, and I'm gonna start a tag team division.
I just want to read y'all something.
Paradigm Shift TV.
I want to read y'all something.
Oh my God! Now he got to
DMG
read something.
DMG is a Hamite. He slept with my rib and then threatened me by sending men to my home when I threatened to expose him.
So Leandre, let me ask you something. I just want to make sure we clear on something. Do you tell lies?
Me no, I don't.
So why did I actually send people to his house? Because I ain't denying that I sent people to his house. Why did I actually do
YouTube, bro?
Because
you're also not denying that he called you a Hamite.
I don't care nothing about that. But tell the people why I actually sent my mans and them to his house and who sent me the information that made me do it.
First of all, don't try to put me in. Okay, he was talking crazy about DMG's wife in the chat. And so I hit DMG up like, hey, do you see the dude talking crazy about your wife in the chat? And DMG just exited. And he ain't say nothing, he just exited the chat. Next thing you know, dude is back on here apologizing for what he said.
Oh my God.
But he ain't denying having a channel, being a Hamite, or taking this man's rib. I need the jury to take note of that.
I've explained ad nauseum that I didn't take the man's rib. I knew the man's rib when I was a freshman in high school. The man's problem is his rib is still thinking about a freshman named DMG instead of thinking about him currently.
Okay, I'm gonna read you something.
What joint is this? What barbecue spot is this y'all beefing over?
Talk about leaving a lasting impression.
That's the man problem. So when the man was looking at my brother Captain K on my channel and hating on him because he don't think Cap is a proper Hebrew and he believes he is with all his gold teeth, but and lack of a beard and bald head, even though he's supposed to be a Hebrew. But anyway, he looking at Cap hating on him. She looks at me and says, I know him. So he says, where you know him from? I used to go to school with him. She then, and this is according to her sister, she then emphasizes, no, I know him. So now the man got the sick feeling in his belly because he see Captain K, who knows his daughter, and now he looking at me, who knows his wife. Okay, now.
Wait, I want to read something.
Hey, Timothy, hold on right quick. The comedy hour about to be over in a second.
Wait. DMG is no Israelite. He sent men to my home when I tried to expose him. Most High be with you because he is a violent heathen. I just want to leave y'all with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again,
you are a violent
I'm just pointing out the fact that this is a weirdo who is mad about a dude his wife knew in high school. Plain and simple. And people wouldn't have got sent to nowhere had a certain man named Leandre Drapak Shakur sent me a screenshot of what he said about my wife because I didn't even see it. So yeah, I jumped off the panel and I handled business because he happened to be, unlike a lot of people on the internet, he happened to be 35 minutes away. And so he should learn not to play like that. But let's get back to business. It's Free Smoke
Listen, they
Friday.
all 35 minutes away where you can find them in 5 minutes flat.
You understand?
Because you're a government operative, Jamel.
So Classic Craig, it's Free Smoke Friday, man. My man Timotheus was getting bored with Comedy Hour. I'm trying to keep him on here, so make it quick. Who you got smoke with? What you got smoke about?
I have smoke with all of the Christians that feel like people who correct them are attacking Christianity. It has nothing to do with your faith.
Well, that's nobody.
It's all information. It's all about information. It's all about being direct and what's right with history, what's right with methodology, what's just right with academics. We're just going to keep it fair, square, and you know what I'm saying? We're just going to keep it there. So And not only that, I have any issue with any pseudo whatsoever. You know, and Leandre for being
Hey,
here.
put that pack away, bro, because that pack ain't hitting on nothing.
Hey, yes, bro. Bro,
All right.
that
So
didn't land nowhere.
So he got smoked with all Christians who think his critiques are attacking their belief.
Not my critiques. Anyone's critiques.
Anyone's critique is attacking their belief, and especially Leandre. Leandre, I'm gonna let you respond to that, and then I want to go to my man Timothy.
Listen, I don't have much to say for it, except for just to say, I don't know what he would think he knows about methodology. Again, I'm really curious. You know, so hey, you are free to bring whatever smoke. Just be sure that when it happens, you can answer questions. What you tend to do when you're challenged is continue to tell us that you're going to be back with some information later. You run with a band of misfits that's akin to like the special needs version of the Suicide Squad. It's even lower than whatever they would be doing. Okay, so that's your band of misfits that you run with, mailman, delivery folks, and that sort of thing. But hey, we're waiting on it. Your communication radio DJ guy, I'm pretty sure he has some heavy hits coming. Yeah, so we'll see what you got.
Hey, I gotta ask you one more question, too, Mr. McBride, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you know, we kind of be like the Creature Commandos. You know, that's the lesser version of Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad. But you know, Frankenstein, you know, Wolfman, all them, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Check it out.
What he's trying to say is, what's
when
a
Kyle come up here? Yeah. So when Kyle come up here, how come you never challenge him? He says you always be on your best behavior.
Are you afraid of Kyle?
Watch your, you know.
Yeah. So
they watch what you say, right?
Uh-huh.
Does the Slim Reaper fear?
They say you never.
Kyle and I have probably had one or two times, I think, that we've been on the thing, and we had disagreements.
Is that when you ran off the panel when you saw him hit it?
Yeah, you know how I usually do. And then in the back chats where Kyle confused categories all over, trying to say,
is that when you quit Paradigm Shift back chat?
No. As a matter of fact, on that topic, Kyle left because you had the mailman and Takori on there talking about how education isn't important and it's the white man's thing. Kyle was so disheartened by that nonsense that he said he was leaving the back chat after that conversation, education. But those are the Craig's other folks. So, but it was so ridiculous for him. Now, Kyle can tell you, and I still have the screenshots. And if you're still in the back, you can just scroll up and see them. I haven't seen a conversation where Kyle knew what he was talking about. I don't know what his particular expertise, something like computers or something. But like when he tried to comment on Christianity and imperialism, that's religion and politics. Neither one of those clearly are his area because he tried to say that, and it just doesn't fit. It's a category error. So in the exchanges that we have had, they didn't go well for him. Again, these are still in the back chat. I don't need to make anything up.
Sounds like you may be a little bit afraid.
So much so that when Rocky, his boy, seen it, and there was like 15 people, I don't know how many people were on the call, but they were all of us who were on this call. Rocky laughed when he saw what Kyle typed. So again, I don't know when
I hear the prayer in your voice, brother.
Yeah, clearly, you know it's clear. But
let's just say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say this.
You sound like Soundwave from the Transformers, brother.
I have.
Sound like you're doing a bad rendition of Computer Love, brother.
In the meantime, who is this Hyperius fellow who hates Classic Craig? I'm looking back to these screenshots here, and he has his number on this. How I know him. He's a Classic Craig.
He just hates the channel, period, man. He a hater.
He says, have you noticed that Kid Craig acts like he is famous because he interviewed Sar Negro?
Wow.
And then he says, also, DMG is a thug. Look at his tattoos.
Yeah, he a hater. That sounds like something you'll say.
He said, listen, I agree with this part. He said, I have a question for Henry. Do you feel the DMG was envious of you and UR channel and persuaded the cutthroat Craigs in joining him? Is that what happened, DMG?
Who he asked that to?
This is when Nehemiah was exposing you. This was on that on whatever that show was that day.
Mm.
You know, I got screenshots. It's 17,440 of them on here. So,
yeah. I don't care how many screenshots you had. Timotheus, what's on your mind, bro? I know you was about to leave. I'm actually about to leave. I appreciate you staying on.
I was just gonna get off and get a bite to eat. You know, I've been at work all day. I got on and supported the channel. Just shout out to you, DMG. Shout out to the Craigs, Craig and Craig, the law firm, the whole freaking show, Paradigm Shift. You know, mouthing off with Mika. You know, y'all keep it up, and I'll come around the next time I'll see you.
Hey, DMG, before you go, tell them where to find you on Pornhub, bro.
You the only one want to find my Pornhub, apparently.
Apparently not, because the dude, because you didn't want to touch that, but that's fine. When you jump off, I'm gonna tell him.
All right, you guys, and have a good night.
All right, my bro.
All right, Timotheus.
All right.
Pandemus African, man. Let me ask you something, brother. Would you debate the Slim Reaper? If so, what topic would you throw out?
I told all y'all when I first came to the chat, anybody can get it. But I also am a counterpuncher. So if anybody wanted it with me, they would have to bring the topic.
Okay. Slim Reaper, if you were to debate the Pandemus African, what topic would you throw at him?
I don't know. We've had a few conversation interactions, so I don't even know, you know, what he thinks or believes. So
well, he believes that your belief is utterly absurd.
Well, hopefully he wouldn't say it like that, because that'd be problematic. But
how would you say it, Pandemus?
Well, I don't necessarily say that. We talked about that earlier. I'm an atheist. I just don't.
I'm agitating. Go ahead.
It's cool. I don't believe in the things that you know, religion or theistic claims. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe the things that have been presented, and I would change my position if presented with convincing evidence.
Okay. So, well, on that note, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What are you calling evidence?
Normally with that question right there, I would say that an omnipotent and omniscient being would know what sufficient evidence would be to convince me and the world of its singular being and power.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. But you would also know the answer to that question. So what would you consider evidence?
Not necessarily, because from what I understand, I guess people get revelations and things like that. I have yet to see that. So I guess if that is a real thing and that does convince people, like I said, if I have what is deemed sufficient evidence for some, you know what I'm saying, and it convinces me, I'd have to go with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the thing would be that would be convincing for me.
Yeah.
You understand?
So then you understand that you have an unfalsifiable belief then, right?
No, I don't have. I have a lack of belief in the claims that's been made. So
No.
as soon as a claim is that a claim that has been made has sufficient evidence behind it, you know what I'm saying? You can once you have been convinced of something, you can't not believe it, right? So
No.
convincing evidence would just convince me, and we wouldn't even be having this discussion no more.
Yeah, but I hopefully when you said that out loud, you heard how ridiculous that whole thing was.
Say it. Which part?
Well, all of it. Like if you start from the beginning and then go to the end, it'll be in that whole section. Because when you say you'll be convinced by evidence, I asked you, what do you mean by evidence? And then you say sufficient evidence, right? And then, but you don't know what would be sufficient. What would convince you? So you don't actually have a standard that could be met, right? So that's called the fallacy of invincible ignorance.
No, what I said was I don't know exactly what the thing would be that would convince me.
Right.
Some people have suggested things that convince them. Those things are unconvincing to me.
Right.
And those are the only things that have been presented so far.
Yeah.
There are no other things that I've known about. And as soon as I know about them, I'll make a determination at that moment whether I believe them or not, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not evidence that's going to convince you then.
No, that's not true. Sufficient evidence would convince me.
Right, but sufficiency means that there is a standard. So when it reaches that point, but you don't have one of those.
No, you're right, because I don't have to. I'm not setting a standard for what I would believe. If I was convinced, so for example, there's things that we learned about in our lives when we growing up, right? We didn't necessarily believe them until we saw the evidence for them, right?
No.
That's the same thing that we're doing, that I live by dealing with everything, specifically with religion.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't.
Explain.
Well, this is classic. So the you are arguing like an ancient Greek skeptic, but without the luxury of having seen the issues with skepticism as a whole. So
except I'm not technically arguing. I'm just responding to what you said.
No, you are arguing because an argument is two parts. It's a claim followed by support. You're saying
I didn't make no claims.
Well, you did make a claim. You made
which
a claim
one?
Okay, if you'd be quiet, I can answer your question. If you say things like "I'll be convinced by evidence," right, and then you say,
yes.
Right, that's a claim.
Okay.
And then you follow that up with supporting statements, right? Like the examples that you're giving, because people are convinced, and there's a certain amount of evidence that convinces everybody, right? So that
yes,
and there's support. So that's called an argument.
Okay. In that regard, I'll give you that. So then, when I say
Only
that I would be if I say I would, you're fine. If I say I'll be convinced by evidence,
right?
I'm now at that point sitting there waiting to see evidence.
No.
And actively seeking evidence.
Well,
and until I find it, we still gonna be at the same point, unconvinced.
Right. But again, you're saying two things, and I don't know that you know that you're saying two different things. Right.
Oh, was another thing I was saying? What was the other thing?
If you listen, you might learn something.
Yes,
So
let's go.
If you start by saying something like, I'd be convinced by evidence. Well, evidence, that's criteriological. Okay. And so there's things that qualify as evidence. So I asked what evidence was. You didn't answer that question. You then
No, I said sufficient evidence.
No.
And then you said, said, what would mean sufficient evidence? And I said, an omnipotent and omniscient being.
You want to bet $100 I didn't say that?
No, I said this. I said an omniscient and omnipotent being would know for sure what sufficient evidence is to convince not only me, but the rest of the world in an instant.
I think your mouth might be moving fast in your brain because you keep glossing over this. So just remain silent for a second, okay? Just watch.
Okay,
this.
Get to the
You
part.
said you'd be convinced by evidence, right?
Yes.
So that's what you said. Then you later said sufficient evidence. I asked you, what do you consider evidence? I didn't ask you what you consider sufficient evidence at that stage. I asked you, what do you consider
You're right.
evidence?
And immediately right there, I said an omniscient, omnipotent being would know what to convince me and the world in an instant.
Right. But that's an answer to the question about sufficient evidence. I'm asking you what you consider evidence in the first place. Do you know the difference?
I do. And
Okay.
that's that was my answer. That was my answer at the beginning.
Okay, right. But you didn't actually answer the question. You responded. You didn't
Evidence has a definition in which you can find in the dictionary.
Right.
Sufficient evidence.
Except for that's not where the card stops. The problem is that in different fields, there are different types of evidence.
Oh, which field you want me to know? Which field you want evidence?
Hence why I'm asking you, what are you calling evidence? That's the question I'm asking you.
What am I calling evidence in general? Something that proves a case.
No, in context to when you're saying you would be convinced by evidence.
Right.
We were talking about, so are you talking about empirical evidence? Or are you talking about logical evidence? Like, what are you talking about? What are you calling evidence?
In that regard, I specifically said, I'm not sure exactly what would be considered evidence. That would, because every single evidence that has been provided has been insufficient and unconvincing so far.
You're begging the question though, and so
I'm not. I'm really not.
No, you are, because you're saying.
No, all I'm saying is I don't know.
You can't classify it as evidence without telling us what evidence is. You're begging the question of what
then
calling evidence.
Okay, so let me not say evidence then. I'll say until I'm convinced, I don't believe.
Right.
Does that make it easier for you?
Yes, because that actually exposes the issue. You don't have an evidence issue. Okay, you want.
Okay, so forget the word evidence. Forget the word evidence. Until I'm convinced, it's a wrap.
Right. Well, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you finally getting to that point of admitting that you're not a person convinced by evidence.
If that's what you need to do to get through this, that's fine. But until there's evidence that's provided that convinces me of any of these claims, I will remain unconvinced.
Well, no, listen, I have absolutely no problem with that. The whole point of that exercise here, you got right where I wanted you, is
Mhm.
to acknowledge the fact. So because here's where people get confused. When people call themselves atheists, they'll say things like there's not sufficient evidence for God. And then they
Mhm.
won't tell you what evidence that would be sufficient to prove a God, right?
Mhm.
They'll say that your faith is that there's no sufficient evidence for this, no sufficient evidence for that. This doesn't work in any field. Doesn't work in any actual field of inquiry. If you talk about historical evidence, it's a criteriological issue. There are pieces of historical evidence that then
So
lead
you
you.
okay if I just say I'm just
Can
unconvinced with
I
it?
please finish what I'm saying?
You could, but I'm asking you a question. So what
No,
you're
no, no,
saying is,
no. You
is
can't
as long
ask
as I
questions while
say,
you can't ask
as
questions while
long
I'm
as I say
talking.
I'm
This is not.
unconvinced, then we're
This is
fine.
not. This
So
is
we
not
just
the
talked
way.
about that about evidence for no
Listen,
reason.
listen. No. We talked about evidence because you said you'd be convinced by it, and so we went through the whole exercise of showing you won't be convinced by evidence because what your issue is, it's not an evidentiary issue. Okay, because I can tell you that people have been sitting around twiddling their thumbs for the past few thousand years. That there have been loads and loads of things actually produce evidence, things that fit
Right.
the definition of evidence in multiple fields of inquiry
Which
regarding.
I've seen, and
Okay,
I've still remained unconvinced by
you
it.
have absolutely you've seen it. So
Mhm.
hang on a second. Pan is omnipotent. He's omniscient as well.
Oh no, absolutely. Now, why
Okay,
would you say that?
so then don't
Why would
tell
you even
me
say that?
because then don't tell me you've seen all the evidence. Because what I
Okay, of
said is
course, zero people has seen all the evidence. So let's not do that.
So good, and that's what I want. Again, that's what I want us to get to. So then,
I told you a minute ago, if there was evidence that was provided to me that was convincing, I would be convinced.
No, yes, you did say that. And then when we went down
Oh.
the road trying to figure out what the evidence is that you're talking about, you don't have
Bring
an
me
answer to
something.
that.
Let's figure it out. Don't even worry about trying to figure out the logic, the
Are
term
you
to
going
call
to
it.
actually let me actually finish a thought? Or you
Yeah, but I'm gonna get you to this. I'm gonna hurry up and get you to the end of it because you're gonna
No,
do.
you're not
You're running
getting
through
me-
exercises.
You're not getting me
So
to
what
the
you
end
can
of
do
anything.
is, all you got to do. You don't got to ask me bad questions and exercises
I'm not
and
asking you any
profiles and
questions.
things.
I'm not asking
What
you
you
any
can do
questions.
is what
I'm not asking
you
you a question.
and
I'm
anybody
explaining
else
something
can
to you.
do. If there's the thing that you think that would
I'm not
convince
asking you
me,
anything.
all
I'm
you have to
trying
do
to
is
tell
bring
you the
that to the
concept.
table and just be like, "Yo, this is what should convince you." I'm gonna look at that and be like, I'm gonna
You're gonna look at
analyze
it and
it,
say it's not
and then I'm
sufficient.
most likely because that's where
Exactly.
we've been the whole time.
Exactly.
But it's not going to be based on me. It's not going to be based on just me saying it just willy nilly. I will look at it and
Because
analyze
you
it and be
just
like,
got
"Yo,
So
is
listen.
this sufficient? Is this convincing?" Like
Listen,
mad
it's not
stories is
about-
not convincing. Just because somebody tell you a story, don't mean this shit is convincing.
The problem is,
You know what I
that
mean?
you're confusing two things, and this is the
I'm not
problem.
confusing
This is
nothing.
where people like yourself who don't
Yes.
actually know this stuff here, right? So when you deal with like ontology or anything like that or logic, there's there's evidences, there's proof. These things have definitions. You're confusing your intellectual assent with there being no evidence, and that's what the whole exercise was. Don't say there's no
Okay,
evidence.
so
Don't
no
say there's
no
not
more
sufficient
exercises. I said I'm just not convinced. Show me what should convince me. No more exercises. Just show me.
Listen. I'm trying to
I'm
answer
listening for you to show me.
Listen, I've already answered that for you. Evidence
What's that?
convinces reasonable men, and if you're not convinced by evidence,
So I'm
then
just
there's no point in
unreasonable.
having conversation.
So I'm unreasonable.
Absolutely,
Oh, so okay. You're right. We shouldn't be having this conversation.
I agree.
All right. Next.
Anyhow, so as I was saying, reasonable people, and this isn't to you. This is to the audience watching. I want you to notice. So this is whenever an atheist speaks, they'll say things like "it's not sufficient evidence," and then they won't ever actually want to commit to what evidence would be convincing, because then they have established a criteria for what they're calling evidence. And so if you meet that criteria, what they should do, right, if the burden is met, is concede and say, hey, you know what? You've met the burden. But the part of the reason why they won't give an answer as to what that is because they want to do something that in logic you call move the goalposts. Because if you give those sufficient answers, they're going to want to jump to something else. But if I needed evidence to be convinced that someone was a woman, or that someone was a man, or that someone existed, or that it rained outside, and all of the other areas where we engage in inquiry, there's a criteria to be established. If I want to be convinced that it rained outside, there's certain things that would be sufficient for me, and I can list what those things are to show me that it rained outside. But when it comes to this topic, the atheist loves to say, well, there's just not sufficient evidence. Well, that's not the same. It's not the same, because what they're actually meaning is I don't want to concede the point. I'm not convinced, but being persuaded is not the same as not having evidence. Those are different things, logically speaking.
Hey, Kenan, you still there?
Yes,
Just check
and
it.
I'm not asleep this time because you was about to go for
It
that.
was coming. It was coming. I swear, my next breath. I just wanted to just ask permission to the panel if I could just respond real quick.
You got it, bro.
Okay. So, if somebody comes in a house that I'm in and says it's raining outside, and I know I just looked outside and saw that it was sunny, they're wearing clothes that are clearly not wet, I'm going to be suspicious of their claim. If they come in and they got a little bit of water on them, I may tend to believe that it might have been rain. Let me go check. There's multiple ways to double to verify things.
Gotcha.
I don't know what somebody might come in and claim to use as evidence or sufficient convincing material, whatever term you need to use, to convince me that it's raining outside. You know what I mean? But they get the opportunity to, if they come in and say to me it's raining, show me that it's raining. You don't need to ask me how much water need to be on my hand in order for you to believe it. Just show me. And we can find out. Like, it could get there real fast. It don't need to be. That's the funny thing about a lot of these debates and these videos and shit. It don't need to be 2 hours or nothing. These joints can be a 5-minute thing if it's convincing things to be convinced. But that's only all the thing I just said is completely unreasonable though. So I just wanted to just get it out there real quick.
I just want to say that I got him. He just got through saying that if it rained outside, there'd be things you could show him to show that it rained outside. Like, he would look at the water that's on your clothing. He might look at the water outside, might look at the weather outside. But then when you ask him, what would convince you, right, of things regarding the religion, you can't even get an answer. Like I said, this is a criteriological issue. Evidence is something. You have a criteria for what counts as evidence. Is it evident that, I don't know, that Jesus lived in the first century? Well, there's certain criteria. If someone made up this other person, said his name was Steve Jobs and lived in the first century, and then they presented nothing for it, you have no reason to believe that. But there's actual evidence that can be offered, like in the case of the rain. And I got him. He just admitted it. There's a criteriological issue. He will commit to a criteria for what would count as evidence if it rained outside. He'd be willing to verify, hey, if it rained outside, and then he's willing to say what sort of things would be sufficient to show that it rained outside. But you can't get an answer with the topic of religion, and that is the problem. This is called the fallacy of special pleading, by the way.
And again, this is why I like these type of things, because this shit is recorded. And I did say the whole time that I don't know what it would take to convince me. And I even just said with the rain example, I don't know what they would decide to bring in to try to convince me with something. I have no idea what someone would use as evidence. As a matter of fact, anybody who claims to have convincing things, just show them. You change the world, bro. You change the world. Like, this is not even a back and forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm saying that I don't believe the things that y'all are saying, and I don't know for sure exactly what would convince me, but I would change my position if properly convinced. I don't even know what you're going with right now.
Hey, I'd be convinced by evidence. Okay, what are you counting as evidence? Well, it needs to be sufficient evidence. Okay, what's evidence? Well, it just needs to be enough to convince me. Well, that's not, again, these are different things. Anybody
You stop right there though, or do you splash him with water if you came in trying to convince him that it's raining?
No,
Do you just give
no,
up?
listen. If the person says, hey, I don't believe that, hey, if I say it rained outside, one, here's the thing that I don't think that you understand.
What's
the
that?
testimony that it's raining outside is evidence.
That's fine.
So wait.
Your word of saying that is not convincing enough. So continue.
No, I know. See, but listen. But saying that, but this is why I keep trying to point out.
It's a level to that. It's level one. Go. What's level two?
No. But you can't say I'd be convinced by evidence.
I took that back.
I know.
I said I'm not convinced.
But you took it back, and then you put it back out there several times again. So
is there something that you have to show that would convince me of a religious claim? Again, we don't got to keep doing this. Is it something that you wanted to just You can just show it.
No. Listen, no, there's not, because I don't waste my time. If you're not going to,
We've been talking for hours with this. The exercise on evidence. It was a waste.
No. This part's not a waste, because I want to show the audience how ridiculous this whole thing is.
The whole presentation saying that things need to be sufficient.
If you won't commit to a criteria, there's no point in having a conversation.
I said that in the beginning, though. The first thing that you said to the Corey part.
Listen, there are other
in the Corey debate. You was like, "Yo," he said it in the first slide. The first slide that I just said in this conversation was, "I don't know." So what are we doing?
The first slide of this conversation was, "I'd be convinced by evidence. I'm willing to change my mind. I'd be convinced by." That's the first slide. And again, you have to like remove yourself from the center of this. Most of the time that I do this, I have no this is not for you. I wanted the audience to show how ridiculous of a presentation this is. You can't say I'd be convinced by evidence and then not know what evidence is, and then saying it needs to be sufficient. And you say,
I don't know what evidence is. I said I don't know what would convince me.
Okay, watch this. What's evidence?
I'm not even going to entertain that, because that's not what we're talking about.
Except for we already went over this. I asked you what evidence.
I told you that I'm not. You did, and we don't need to do it because the audience heard it.
You want lots of proofs? What do you want?
Because the audience heard that part. You're right.
You want lots of proofs?
So at this point, we don't need to reiterate anything. You could just show me if there's a convincing thing.
No. See, again, it's not, because convincing, that's all personal.
I mean, it was for the audience, though. It was just for the audience, though. But it's for the audience.
No, which is why I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to convince.
No, convince them real quick, though. Show them. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
No.
Show them the shit. I'm gonna shut up.
No. Listen, any one of them wants to be convinced, bring the criteria, and then we'll discuss it. But it's not about you. I don't need to convince you, because you won't even commit to what would be convincing.
No, I know. We said that already. It's not about me. It's not about me. Convince the audience.
We won't be having a conversation. It would be an exercise of utility. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, right. So show the audience real quick.
Show the audience what?
Anything that will convince them of a religious claim.
Yeah, that part has already been done.
When?
Yeah, we've already been done. This is and I don't know what direct circumstantial means. There's direct, there's indirect, and then there's things that are circumstantial. But yeah, the issue here is, again, you won't even say what evidence is. So what sort of evidence are you talking? Empirical? What do you mean?
What evidence do you have in your pocket to show me?
Listen, what are you calling evidence? This is the question.
I'm not calling anything evidence. I'm saying show me something that will convince me.
No. See, again, that's a different. You can't say evidence and then sneak in.
You did. I'm no longer saying evidence. What I said was show me something that would convince me.
I don't have anything that would convince you, because you.
Okay, so then what are we doing then? So at this point, there's no more exercises to do. There's nothing left to do. If you don't have any evidence to show, if you don't have anything convincing to show,
you're doing it again. It's not
you're right.
Evidence to show.
I did myself. If you don't have anything convincing to show, then all you want to do is
convincing to you, right?
No, I'm saying no.
You started out,
not to me. Not to me.
You started
out to me. It's not me no more. You just said it's not about me, so it's not about me. So if you don't have convincing evidence to show the audience, what else you about to say?
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I keep explaining to you. You keep confusing the persuasion with the evidence, and that's why I keep
No. What I do with that was a slip of the tongue. I did not mean to say evidence just now. If you don't have something convincing to show the audience or me, what are you talking about?
You're doing it again. Convincing is always going to be. You said this yourself. Convincing is always going to be a personal thing. How could I convince the audience? Everyone's going to have their own personal criteria. Listen to yourself.
You're right. So what are you doing then?
So
you didn't want to waste time. At this point, what are you doing? If you don't want to waste time and you're not about to show me or the audience, at this point, what are we doing? It is. At this point, we moved on. It's a different conversation, because if you're not about to show somebody, what are we doing? So now it's a different conversation.
No.
So now what are you going to do?
Again, listen, I need
what are we doing?
I need you to get past the 4th grade here, okay?
Okay, I'm past the 4th grade, and I'm as tall as you. So we're all past all of the insults and shit like that. If you don't have nothing about religion, yes, I am. And if you don't have no information to show, what are we doing?
No. Listen, again.
If we don't have any information to show, you're wasting time right now. You said you don't want to waste time. So what are you doing?
Stop confusing the information.
Do you have that clock still going? Put on the clock right now. Let's see how long we're wasting time, because we don't have time to waste. and we're not showing any convincing information
Exactly.
to me or anybody. So what are we doing?
You have to stop confusing information and evidence with what's convincing. There's a difference here. That's why you have to get past the 4th grade. You have to get past the fourth grade.
I'm past the 4th grade. Just show me something. I clearly am. I'm 47 years old. Clearly, I'm past the 4th grade.
Listen,
all you got to do is answer the question.
That they did this to you. But
all you got to do is answer the question.
Listen, you are asking it.
No, you want to insult the shit out. I know. Everybody knows that's your thing.
No. Listen.
In the meantime, while you doing that, prove the case that you acting like you have in your pocket. If there's something that you can show it.
If you
otherwise, you are wasting time.
Okay, so how
you're doing that for no reason, and I'm lit right now, so I don't give a fuck.
That's fine. except for again, what you continue to do is confuse.
No, I'm not confusing anything. What I'm doing is waiting for you to show.
You don't even know what you're responding to because you won't shut up. You won't listen to the question.
You said I'm confusing evidence for something, and I'm stopping you because I'm not confusing
nothing. You don't even know
nothing.
what it is that I'm saying because you won't stop talking.
Confusing nothing.
No, you are
That's why I'm not letting you say that.
Evidence is a criteriological issue. Agree or disagree?
I'm not talking about evidence, so it don't matter.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
I got rid of the term evidence, so you can't stick on. We've been talking about that for a half hour now. I got rid of it. I got rid of that word. So we're not about to deal with that. What we're going to do is what would make people believe what you believe.
You don't use
That's what we're doing.
Don't use a synonym.
I heard you, and I said, what would make people believe what you believe?
Listen, don't use a synonym.
See how fast I changed it up? I heard you. We're not wasting time. What would make people believe what you believe?
Because you won't shut up and listen to what I'm saying.
No, you're going to answer the question. It's what would make people believe what you believe?
No.
Using the synonym, like you said, I responded to what you said.
So then I'm going to circle back to, again, the issue here is evidence and information. Those are synonyms here. So again, what you keep turning it to is convincing, and you're talking about convincing the aggregate. Convincing the aggregate, right? Especially if you're going to say that this is a personal thing, which what you said earlier, you're contradicting yourself.
No, I didn't bring up the aggregate. You said it's not about me no. You said it's not about me no more, and I said,
all right. DeAndre,
you said it's not about me no more, and I said, go ahead and tell the people. I didn't bring up the aggregate. You did.
That is the aggregate, you genius.
I know. You brought it up, you genius.
DeAndre and Pam. DeAndre, final statement, and then Pam, final statement.
Again, the genius here is confusing persuasion with evidence. And so he's saying, what's going to convince the people? Give the information, but the information there, he's only substituting that with evidence. He doesn't want evidence or information. He wants something that's going to be convincing. There is a difference, a vast difference between proof and evidence. These are criteriological issues. Proof is a logical issue. Evidence is a criteriological issue. It's what qualifies as evidence. Saying I want to see evidence is different than saying I want to be convinced. Wanting to be convinced is a completely, utterly separate topic. And again, you have to not be an idiot in order to understand that. And if you don't understand that, then you shouldn't be asking for evidence or information because there's a difference. So saying repeatedly, and again, and this is idiocy on display in saying, I'm not appealing to the aggregate and then turning and saying the people. That's appealing to the aggregate, genius. The aggregate is the people. What's going to convince the people? That's the aggregate. You're taking it from your individual sense, talking about what's going to convince me, saying what's going to convince the people. And you can't say that after saying, well, everyone's convinced by different things. Okay. So then how could something be presented at any one time to convince everyone? Well, that would be utterly ridiculous. If it's also true at the same time that people are convinced by different things, unless you can put all of the evidence forth at one time, which doesn't seem possible. That's not anything that can be given. So again, this is a persuasion issue. This is not an evidentiary issue. This is not an issue of proof. So, but if you don't know what you're talking about, it can sound like, hey, I'm saying something smart, I'm saying something intelligent, but in reality, these are different things. But I just want to leave you all with this. What they'll do every time they say there's not sufficient evidence or there's not enough evidence. Hey, what evidence will convince you? What do you take as evidence? Give me what you would take as evidence. Tell me what would be sufficient for you. Oh, I don't know. It just has to be convincing. Well, you're going to spend your days chasing shadows in trying to grab him by the neck, and trying to chase somebody doing that stuff. So if he decides to put forth an actual criteria that he would commit to, as he stated in the beginning, he'd become a believer. Give me that list of what it would be. And then if I give you that list, then welcome to the church.
And Demas African.
Yes, sir. So again, we gonna leave all the insults to the side because shit, we grown ass men, some of us. And I said I don't know is a sufficient answer to whatever in any situation if you genuinely don't know what the situation would be that convinces you. That's just me being honest. I didn't come out here claiming nothing. I just came on here because fucking DMG said something and it started this conversation. It wasn't like I was out here asking for evidence and shit like that. I just happened to be atheist. You see me? And so now, as far as the aggregate and the people, you said, my brother, that it's not about me. So I said, okay, don't make it about me. Talk to them. But please, don't waste your precious time because we've been on here for so long that DMG had to come back and cut us off. You got a list of something that'll convince me in any category. Bring the whole fucking list. Let's run through it. That's where I'm at with it. We don't need a whole lot of fancy discussion and none of that shit. We don't need a 2-hour long nothing. We don't even need a video. You could just share the list to the back chat and convert the whole crew. Otherwise, we just out here fronting. And how about you just stop doing that? Go ahead, D. Holla at me. Have a nice day.
He say, otherwise, you just out here front. See, Pandemus just held his own with Death in Corner. See, usually Leandre, aka Dre the Slim Reaper, is where unbelievers come to die. Pandemus is still alive. I'm blown away. I don't know about y'all. May God forgive me, I was hot. Listen, family.
All you wish.
We almost at the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna let everybody close out. My man Cannon, take it away. I'm really leaving this time. Salute to everybody here. Pan and Leandre entertained me more than I anticipated, so I stayed on to listen. But I'm really leaving this time. I'm gonna hand it over to Cannon for everybody to close out. I appreciate y'all staying on. Shout out to David. Shout out to Jake Fax. Shout out to the Slim Reaper. Shout out to the Animated Assassin. Appreciate y'all. Salute one and all. I'm out. It's DMG. Y'all come back tomorrow for Lord Benu versus. Oh no, I'm tripping. That's not happening yet. Come back tomorrow for the results of J Fax versus Takari. We're gonna have that show for you Sunday. I'll be on open panel discussion. Is atheism the new? Or no? Oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say the new. Is atheism the real white man's religion? Hopefully y'all can come on, jam out with me for a little bit, get y'all opinion on that question. I'm saying yes, just because, yeah, I'll tell y'all why on Sunday. And then Thursday, we got my sister, the Queen, Mignette, coming back again, part 2 of a multi-part series, The Power of Living in Ma'at. And again, it's Paradigm Shift TV 314. It's your brother DMG, the poet, the infamous DMG. My name is my name. DeAndre better not play with it. He better be somewhere with his wife when my sister come on here. Same mama, same daddy. I'm out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Turning it over to Cannon.
Yeah. Before we keep going, that was definitely a good little back and forth. Anybody in the chat that wants to be added to our back chat, please definitely add your give me your name and I can add you to the Paradigm Shift 314 back chat if you want to pick up where you left off on any of these discussions. If not, see us back on the next day. This was the Who Want to Smoke Friday Friday freestyle, however you want to say it. But I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to close out. I'll start with J Facts.
Honestly, I ain't really got much to say, bro. Stick to the facts and you're gonna be straight. You always find the truth.
Okay. Dave, it's on you.
It was a great back and forth between Leandre and Pandemus. I enjoyed myself. Had a great conversation with the rest of the panel that was on earlier. Thanks to DMG for giving me this opportunity to express myself on his panel. As always, Cannon, you did a great job at looking over the fest.
I appreciate it. And
sorry about that. I muted myself, but keeping things on the from exploding. And with that, that's pretty much all I have to say.
And last but not least, my man Dre Pac Shakur, you want to go ahead and bring us home?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on mute. So I'm trying to share my screen. Can you set my screen share real quick so I can close it out?
Let me see. Hold on, I gotta get on my actual computer to do that. I don't know how to do it. So, hold on 1 second.
Well, I'll tell you what. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
I'll read it. This is from Dr. Chris Curry, the logician and scientist. Dr. Chris Curry says, truth and persuasion. A proof is a logical issue. A sound proof is based on the rules of logic, not on subjective whims. Evidence is a criteriological issue. Being convinced is a subjective psychological issue. We should be convinced by evidence and proof. It is possible for a person to be convinced of something even though they have no evidence or proof for it. Conversely, a person can refuse to be convinced of something even though there's evidence and or proof for it. So being convinced is neither a necessary nor sufficient condition for the soundness of a proof or the legitimacy of evidence. I just want to say that this comes from a logician and a scientist, studied in logic and science. So the issue here, and I disagree, there was not actually a good back and forth. Yeah, one person who was basically doing the equivalent of plugging his ears, like someone 4th grade and under, and just refusing to answer certain things or to be held to certain things. It's called non-committal, but and then you had someone who was actually trying to figure out what it would be necessary, in order to supply sufficient evidence. Sufficient means that it's reached certain levels of conditions, and after that, there's, you've reached whatever it is. Sufficient causes to start a vehicle, for example. But anyway, I just want to say that for any person out there, if you're going to want to engage in any discussion whatsoever, and you're going to say something like, I'd be convinced by evidence, make sure that you're not talking about being persuaded. Make sure you're actually talking about sufficient evidence, a burden that can be met, something that's falsifiable. Okay, so with that, I would just say, hey, if you're going to pretend to know logic, right, you should actually know logic, right? If you're going to pretend to, to be convinced by evidence, let us know what the evidence is. But I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all having me up here, man. That's it.
And with that being said, we in the mix. See y'all next time, and we are out. Paradigm Shift 314. Peace.